Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And today we're going to talk about it. All markets are crashing. That's right. You guys know it. Everyone knows it. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about it tonight because how to save yourself. We always have to talk about it here in the SSN Nation. And welcome. Stop Struggling Now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. Looks like we have a delay, ladies and gentlemen, but we're about to start this real quick. And of course, we have to have the promo, right? Here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, let's talk about today. You know what to do first, though. And welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. But first, please smash the like button. And if you're going to like what we talk about tonight, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell. That would be greatly appreciated to let the YouTube gods know that we have some people in the house. First up, we have Laverne Penix here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. He has the icon next to his name, which means he's a member of the channel. And he says, hello, SSN Nation. He brings the tagline. I hope everyone is doing well. He's still in the DR, enjoying life. The market in crypto is a falling knife. That's right. Don't try to save a falling knife, ladies and gentlemen. Let it ride. If you saw the video that I dropped earlier today, even the billionaires, BlackRock won't even touch this market. They're saying, we're not buying on the dip, fellas. We're not bailing you out this time. I love it. That's how you should be thinking right now, ladies and gentlemen. There's no reason to jump in and do any dollar cost averaging at this point. You know we subscribe to this. But you know that the Federal Reserve is going to have their meeting. You know Powell's going to get on the stand. You know he's going to say something like, we're going to increase the interest rate 0.5% or 0.75% or 1%. It's going to be one of those. I myself, they've never really had guts, but I think it's going to be 0.5 because, you know, they want to at least give the guys, the top dogs, a way to borrow some more money at lower interest rates, just so they can put it into the market so they can get the market to go up a few days this week. You know how it works, ladies and gentlemen. But we're going to talk about that and a whole bunch more. But before I move on, Laverne Penix, thank you so much for dropping the videos. I should have brought them tonight to put up. Maybe I'll do it along the next hour. But thank you so much for the videos from the DR, Mr. and Mrs. Cool. That's right, a.k.a. Laverne Penix is Mr. Cool here, ladies and gentlemen. And by the way, let me know if you received the YouTube notification and or saw the trailer, because the trailer is SSN Lifestyle. It's official. SSN Lifestyle video was dropped on this channel talking about the memberships and the opportunities on that channel. So that's going to be cool. Let's see who else is here. Victor Marrero's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he also has the icon next to his name. And his tagline he brings with him. He says, hello all, and it's let's do this. And that's right. We're going to make it happen because you guys have to know you got to save yourself. Nobody's coming to save you. As you can see right now, I'm going to show you what's been happening with the stock market. Strong Bags 116, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Very, very happy to see you once again. Hey, and hey to you as well, and the rest of the nation. Here we go. Victor Morrell says we're officially stock and crypto broke. You got that right. Someone removed the floor. There you go. And you know who that someone is. And now you're about to bring up another subject matter. Look at this. The Celsius network fiasco can trigger the feds to look into it. We can't win. Exactly. He's exactly right. Victor Morrell, you know, BlockFi, Celsius network, and Nexo, they already had to get approval from the United States government in order to operate with United States citizens. Remember, we had to take a lower interest rate because the United States has that rule against being able to get the interest in their native token, which was CEL in this case, and Nexo has their Next token. So the same rules apply. Remember, we have different rules. So they already had to comply. But now you're exactly right. I feel you're exactly right. They're going to comply even more. And here's the worst part. These guys stopped withdrawals, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm talking about. It's your crypto, but is it? You have it on these exchanges. You have them at Celsius Celsius Network, Nexo, and BlockFi. I got to get some water, it looks like. But excuse me for a second. But nonetheless, they are withholding our money, ladies and gentlemen, on Celsius. You cannot withdraw. How crazy is that? That is not what crypto is supposed to be about. So now you know. Here's the thing. They also staked their money into staked Ethereum. Can you believe this? So they're not really liquid. So that means you can't withdraw your money, of course. They're not liquid. This is craziness. Talked all that smack, Mashinsky, all the time talking smack, whatever. Now here it comes out. You want to sign up millions of people into crypto, and now you're acting just like a bank, withholding people's money, Mashinsky. You're not looking so good right now. Well, you've already cashed out because the bottom line is you already stopped withdrawals. You're no better than what Robinhood did. You're no better than any exchange rug pulling. The market's going down and people can't withdraw their money. That's a very, very bad thing because the market even dropped even further after yesterday. So they couldn't even trade their money into a stable coin. So then they wouldn't lose all their money because you're holding it. That's a problem, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're officially back. We can't win, ladies and gentlemen. We can keep trying. At Laverne Penix from Victor Morrell, glad to hear you're enjoying life down in the DR. I think I missed it, but where are you staying? In a resort of an Airbnb at Punta Cana. Exactly. All right. Professor Auntie Val. That's right. You heard me say it, ladies and gentlemen. Professor Auntie Val with the icon next to her name. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And she has her tagline in tow, and it says, "Good evening, fam." And she has the heart. She has the support and the strength going with us all the time. So thank you so much once again for being in the house, Professor Auntie Val. Laverne Penix says, I received the notification and trailer. That's one. Auntie Val, I received the notification and trailer. That's two. Very, very nice. Laverne Penix, we are staying at Occidental Punta Cana, all inclusive. Okay. Can't be mad at them. Very, very nice. And this is weird. We're down here at the bottom. Very, very nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to break this out. Let's just get down to business. What happened in the stock market today? Because you guys, look, we talked about this last Monday, did we not? When we were talking about shorting the market on Money Making Mondays, when we were talking about UVXY, VIXY, SQQ, those were just three of them. But we talked about SDAO. We talked about SPXU. Did we not? But at the time, you know, people were still buying back their shares of stock. The stock market had this little flurry, a little few days where it was going up. So people were saying, my goodness, this is maybe not a good time. Maybe it's going to go back up, being optimistic because you guys have been fed optimism for 12 years. And you're thinking the Federal Reserve has a playbook when they do not. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. I'll say it again. All the Federal Reserve can do is, it's simple and easy when you can reduce the interest rate. That spurs investing. because you can borrow at a lower rate. That's all it does, except it's not fair. If you have a corporation that's on Wall Street, you can borrow potentially hundreds of millions of dollars at a 1% or less interest rate. You and I go borrow, we're going to have to pay 3, 4, 5 or more percent to borrow. And you're not going to be able to borrow $50 million. That's the difference. If you had $20 million, I'll lower it, and homes only cost 250 or 300,000, you too would be bidding up home prices because you don't care. Huge difference. But what happens when that money is increased? The interest rate is increased. All of a sudden now, you can't borrow at 1% or half a percent, that is. Now you might have to borrow 2, 3, 4%. Now that $20 million, you don't want to pay $800,000, $1 million a year. You see what I'm saying? You were all good when it's 100,000 or 50,000 a year, but all of a sudden when it says no, man, I think we're gonna have to get our 800 G's, $1 million a year now on that money. Now all of a sudden you start sweating. Now you can't withstand if people default or you mess around a few times with properties lost and foreclosures and whatever else. Okay, all of a sudden things stop. And you're not going to be borrowing money to buy your own stock either to increase the value of the stock market. Nor are you going to be able to go in and buy crypto and make sure the crypto market stays afloat. All of a sudden, you have to drop your bags. Now, let's go, ladies and gentlemen. We get into the real deal around here because it's real out here in the field. Look at this. This right here, Bitcoin plunges below 24,000. I believe last Monday, once again, Professor Auntie Val did say it. We were talking about it when it was around 29 or 30,000, and we were saying we expected to go even further, and I was going off a historical record. I said by rights it should be under 20,000, down to around 17 ultimately, where the bottom should be if you go by historical records. Look at this. We went down to 24, but that's not the real story. The real story is we went down to 22,000. So how are we going to save ourselves, ladies and gentlemen? You're not going to buy any crypto right now. A falling knife, as Mr. Cool said. You cannot keep doing dollar cost average down, ladies and gentlemen. That's just not the way it's going to be. So I just wanted to show you, but you can barely see on the screen what it looks like at the Dow today. Unheard of numbers. It's crazy. 2.79% for the Dow negative. The S&P negative 3.88 and NASDAQ negative 4.68. Tesla is around $600, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe that? Yes, this is working out like I told you guys before. When the top 1%ers mess up, we can take advantage. And how are we going to take advantage? Well, we're going to keep talking about that here shortly, how we're going to be taking advantage. All right, Victor, no trigger needed. They were already investigating. There is more to come until they control what they want. Exactly. That's all this was ever about. This is, okay, first of all, Professor Auntie Val and everybody else, and a lot of other people know, you have to understand New York is the capital of the financial industry. Pretty much all banks are routed through New York. That's where your main branch generally has to be in order for you to have a USA routing number. So a European or another country around the world wants to do business in the United States, they generally will have to have a bank on U.S. soil. Those banks are traditionally most often in New York. USB, I'm trying to think of ING. They have branches only in the state of New York. So once you understand that, then you understand why the state of New York has a problem with crypto. People who have banks are putting money into Coinbase or putting money into crypto, trying. So then they said, we're going to mess it up for you guys. And we're going to mess it up for anybody that wants to do what Celsius does. You're going to have to do these regulations here. All those regulations, though, is to get their buddies, the banks, to be involved with these entities. That is why the Winklevoss brothers, unashamedly, they deal with banks. BlockFi, they are under bank control. All right, you guys got to wake up, understand what's happening here. The top 1%ers had to get their foothold into crypto, because I'm going to tell you once again, this is not rocket science. Here's how it goes. The stock market was going to crash. They already set it up, right? They've been printing money since 2009. All right. They know that there has to be some sort of recession, but in the meantime, they made the balloon of the markets. They don't want the stock market to go down, where 89% of the stock market is controlled by the top 10% of the wealthiest, because you'll take your money out of the stock market and then you would put it into crypto if crypto was going to be stable or go up. And they know it would go up if all of a sudden there's $1 trillion that is taking out of the stock market, and half of that, 500 billion, goes into crypto. That means the crypto market would go up. So what do? You make sure the crypto market goes down when the stock market goes down. See how simple this is? We've talked about this before, ladies and gentlemen. So you're going to have to save yourself. So if you can short these markets, that's one way that you can save yourself, by shorting the markets if you want to play in the markets. If you don't want to play in the markets, that's fine. In fact, you know how the art of Sun Tzu, the art of war, right? Some people think retreat is like the army in the Western world, where you say retreat and you're thinking, okay, we're losing right now, so let's leave. We don't attack. We don't do anything. But that's not actually what he was talking about. Retreat, he was still saying you're going to win without doing anything, literally. All right. That's basically what he was saying. It wasn't literally retreat like in the Western world, like you're thinking we're losing, we got to back up, and regroup back here. No, it's like we're still going to win without fighting. Okay, I'll bring it up in a second. But I just wanted to point this out, ladies and gentlemen, because she said it exactly right. Exactly right. Exactly right. Laverne Penix, good for you guys. I don't think we have stayed at Occidental before. Enjoy it and try to disconnect from this mess here. Unfortunately, we'll still be here when you guys return. He's exactly right about that. It's still going to be going down, because I'm going to show you right now. Here's why it's going to keep going down. In case you missed a video that I dropped earlier today, then you don't understand what's been happening in another reason why stocks and crypto is going to continue to go down. And I will bring it up here. I believe this is it. So you will see it for yourself. If I found right one, I think, let's see if that is. Oh, no, took it off. I waited too long. All right. Well, basically, I'll have to give it to you myself then, because it went off the screen. But BlackRock is a hedge fund, the biggest hedge fund, the largest hedge fund, ladies and gentlemen. And you know what they said? They said they're not buying the dip. That's right. They are buying dip, ladies and gentlemen. Hundreds of millions of dollars sitting on the sidelines. Can you believe that? Warren Buffett's also sitting on the sidelines. You should be sitting on the sidelines with the duffel bag of cash, just lining your bag up, getting it ready. They know what you here in the SSN Nation have known for a while. Just sit back, relax, duffel bag of cash ready. Don't get upset it's going down. But if you are in the market, you want to put your money into something that's stable, or a way for you to win. I would not suggest you continue to take the falling knife. This is a situation where if the largest hedge fund says, I'm on the sideline and wait, you know other hedge funds are going to do the same thing. They are not going to be lending their money to these corporations so they can buy back their stocks so the stock market can go up for 1 or 2 days and then have another 800-point drop, another 3% drop, 5% drop. Just think about it. If you had a bank and you knew the person's going to borrow your money and then buy stocks with it, and then they're going to be like, wait a minute, isn't the stock market going down? They say, yeah, but when we buy it, the stock's going to go up for 2 or 3 days. You'll be like, are you crazy? I'm not giving you no $100 million. That's where we're at right now. And guess what else? The Federal Reserve also said, nah, we're not going to be buying up your debt that much anymore. You guys are almost going to have to be on your own. So you have 2 catalysts alone. That means all markets have to crash, and the Federal Reserve, they're locked in. They have no choice but to raise interest rates. So therefore, the real estate market's going to follow. And now you're going to have a recession, or shall I say, Great Depression 2.0. That's what we're going to have. Not a great recession, depression, ladies and gentlemen, with hyperinflation. If it's not already 100, 200% on you, year over year is hyperinflation, in my opinion. They're just keeping it on the side. All right, let's see what else we got here. Vanessa, Gates in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream with the icon next to your name. I appreciate it. Very nice to see you. And she says, hey, boss, and SSN fam, got the notification. I hit the like. Oh, that's 3 people. Very, very nice. Thank you so much for letting me know. All right, here we are. Auntie Val, if we fill CME gaps, Bitcoin could hit around 18, 19. Yep, 12,280 before it's said and done. Yeah, she's predicting that it goes below even the 17, ladies and gentlemen. I actually think that the margin calls, I think some were already triggered because it went down to 22,000. Michael Saylor and all the others, I know for a fact, bought higher than 22 grand. They were up somewhere in the 30s, but I know they bought some at lower price. So there's reports where it has to go down to 2021. I don't believe it, quite frankly, because they actually talk about it in the open press when they bought. So Kathy Woods, Elon Musk, and Dorsey and Saylor, they all said when they bought, the shares were not $20,000. They were like 30. So this is definitely 30% loss, which is not going to be enough most of the time, unless you did some high risk. But they borrowed on top of borrowed. That's the problem. They borrowed money, and then they used the Bitcoin as collateral to borrow some more money. Ludicrous. But hey, that's how they do it up there, ladies and gentlemen. Because if you think it's going to $70,000, that's what you would do. But now it went the opposite way, and it touched upon 22. We're only around 23, 24 right now. It could easily get to 20, which is a trigger point, apparently. I think there's a trigger point before that. They just didn't want to say it, because once you find out that somebody's going to sell $50 million worth of Bitcoin, that's going to be a problem. So this is why Auntie Val is predicting 18.9 to 12.2. And again, that's within the range. I'm thinking 17,000 should touch upon. So we still have about another 5-6 G's left to get there. But in the meantime, you know what that means? Have you guys seen the coin prices? The AVAXs, the FTMs, all the other altcoins? These things have taken a nosedive. We're talking single digits in some cases. AVAX was in single digits, I believe, for a minute. I couldn't believe it. I was just like, is this for real? FTM already below $1, like 20 cents or something on the Phantom Network. I'm just like, this is crazy. And you guys know all these companies, such as Strong, said we want a stronger chain. What's going to happen? Come on now. Come on now. Showing the love. All right. What's good, sis? There we go. What's good, sis? Hey there, Professor Val. I'm good, love. It's getting real out here. Exactly. Vanessa Comagate showing the love. Okay. Goldman, Gary Gensler was placed at the SEC for Professor Auntie Val giving people some history lessons. This is why we're going to be able to win. You know, when there's blood in the streets, this is why you just need to sit back right now, ladies and gentlemen. There's no reason to be impatient. There's no reason to think that this is the low of the low on any of the market forecasts. Do not think this is the low of the low. They need your money for the market to go up. So people are probably right now taking money out of their retirement funds, out of the stocks. If they can withdraw, that is, because you know how these guys give the redemptions. All of a sudden, you know how it works. It's not only Celsius that does this. Traditional finance does it too. You try and sit there and take out something out of your retirement, and they're all of a sudden like, hey, we're not allowing redemptions at the moment. That happens, but it's very quiet. They don't like talking about this. But once again, this is why you need your own duffel bag of cash. You need your own money, which crypto was supposed to be. And that's why people say not your keys, not your money is the reason what Celsius is doing to people. I'm surprised other places haven't done it. I'm sure there will be, because Celsius is going to have a bank run. That's right, a bank run, except they have their money staked. This is crazy. I'm really upset at what Celsius has done. They basically have done what traditional banking has done. They used your money, they staked it, it's locked up, so now they don't have liquidity. Not all of it, not 100%, but they stake some of your money, our money, because I'm on Celsius. And I was wondering the other night, I was trying to withdraw, right? I was trying to move it to a stable, and I was like, what's going on? It was like 2 days ago. And I was like, okay, whatever, forget about it. And then I see a blurb talking about, not even from Celsius, but on YouTube, I saw a blurb talking about can't withdraw from Celsius. I was like, what the frick? It was crazy. So we're going to find out, but she's right. Gary Gensler, it's going to be more blood in the streets. Yes, ma'am, blood in the streets. Exactly. All right. Victor Marrero and Auntie Val, if BTC hits that low, we'll be in serious trouble. By the way, for Stronger, that's a wrap. Unlike you, I am taking that huge L like a big boy. Shake it off and move on. Yeah, Victor Marrero, there's no option on you. You got to move and yep, shake off. You got to take the L sometimes. Again, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to investing, once again, we can't win them all. This is a perfect example of what's happening right now. Everybody for the last 3-4 years almost, you could put some money in the markets and then it would rise. Over the last 7 months, it's been going down, but everybody was shaking it off, going, oh, no big deal. It'll come back. No big deal. It'll come back another month later, another 2 months. No big deal. Then 6 months, hey, wait a minute. And then after this past 2 days of the market, today and Friday, now people are waking up going, wait a minute. This right here might not come back. This could be another 20 to 30% lower, like a complete crash. I know it's a damn shame how they screwed it up. Yes, Professor Auntie Val, unfortunately. James Way says, once again, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he has the icon next to the name. And he says, rent is too damn high and getting worse. Hello, all. Hello to you too, James Way. Thank you for that. And by the way, if you just now joined us, please smash the like button. And if you like what we're talking about, once again, please subscribe to the channel. Click the all notification bell because YouTube doesn't like to send out notifications. We're approaching 14,000 subscribers. So I want to thank everybody who's a member of the channel, who's a subscriber of the channel, and everybody new. Come on in. And if you have any questions, you can ask them down in the chat room. Now, let's get into a little bit of what can we do also while we're talking about everything going down. Because we talked about, in fact, we talked about UVXY. This is on the stock market. This is shorting the markets, ladies and gentlemen. UVXY. VIXY, SQQQ, SDOW. These are easy. SP as in Paul, XU. Those are some right there that does Standard & Poor 500, NASDAQ, Dow markets. They do those indexes separately. So those are the ones that you can concentrate on the stock market. They're on Robinhood, they're on Webull. And if you don't have Robinhood and Webull, the links are down below in the description. You can get free shares of stock if you haven't downloaded already. So get those, and you can buy those, even fractional shares if you don't think $20 is too much, or $5 or whatever it is. But nonetheless, now may be a time, because things have already dropped 30, 40, 50%, these indexes, but they don't want you to know that. And that's why in today's video that I dropped earlier, I actually showed these indexes dropped 20% year to date. One was 27% year to date. One was 13%. Another one was 17%. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. They've been going down all year. This is nothing new. And if you would have had your SQQ, you would have doubled your money, because it's over 100% just in the last 6 months. All right. So that just gives you an idea. Other shorts, 20, 30% in 6 months. That's a decent return on your investment as well. So just think about it, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you can combat this. Now, the other things that are traditional ways to combat it is the old days. I'll just give you some old day stuff. Okay. You could have put your money into gold and silver, but we can't do that anymore, because that has been infiltrated. Because when they came up with ETFs for gold and silver silver-backed dollars and all this stuff, that means people could give it to the stock market, which is a derivative in essence, but yet instead of giving it to the dealers with, you're going to buy gold and silver, you go give it to the stock market. You got to understand, that's where the trick comes in. Wall Street has the money versus ordinary citizens having that money for the coins. That is significant. So they had to figure out a way to make sure people would not take their money out of the stock market and go buy gold and silver, because traditionally, up until the last 12, 15 years, gold and silver would have already went up 20, 30, 40%. In other words, gold right now is around $1,870 an ounce. It would be at around $2,500 or $3,000 an ounce. Having risen, people would have taken their money out of the stock market, 5 months ago, and started putting into gold, and silver would be more like $50 an ounce instead of 23 or whatever it is right now, because they infiltrated that market as well and now manipulate it. So again, it doesn't rise like it's supposed to due to inflation. So you have to understand that used to be a lever. It still is probably going to be a lever, but so far it hasn't been. And again, I truly believe it's because they came out with ETFs, which, like I said, we talked about them here. GOLD is, like, for instance, a gold stock that you can buy. And then there's other ETFs as well, like AYUs, which is miners, gold miners stock. But again, that goes into Wall Street instead of actually going to the coin dealers and increasing the coin prices, the platinum, the palladiums, the gold, the silver. So you have to understand what you're working with. So that's why you should have a little bit of gold and silver as well, ladies and gentlemen, because you never know which one of these levers they're not going to be able to control. But unfortunately, so far, they're controlling every single one of them. And so we counteract this. And I just given you the stocks, how you can counteract it by shorting some of the stocks or the indexes themselves. The other thing you can do, we talk about it here, start your own business. You know, millionaires are made because you might have a business idea that can help people in times of economic crises. If you help people, you can make money. So you might want to consider that. And of course, down below, I hope I have it, the Opus Virtual Office, which I say, if you're going to have a business out of your home in this era, you should play safe. Have a business address, not at your residential address, because people act a fool. All right. So That's what you're going to get. You should get Opus Virtual Office. It's $99 a month. The link is down below. I say this every live stream. All right. And so you have a business phone number that a person answers for you under your company name. You have a business phone number. You have a business fax number. You're on 411 just for starters. It helps your business credit because they report to your business credit. That's just for starters. Your mail goes there as a business address. So that's helpful as well. $99 a month. That is a tax write-off. So take advantage, ladies and gentlemen. The link is down below. All right, let's go. Here we are. My humble opinion, USDT is toast. That's a problem. USDT could be toast because they're sketchy. And unfortunately, a lot of people are using Tether as a way to transport money in and out of accounts and all kind of it, and it's stable. But the problem is nobody really knows if it's legitimate. Still don't know if it's legitimate. It could be like Luna where they're printing extra money. That's not good. That's not good. Curtis Davis is in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Thank you so much for being here with the icon next to his name. And he says his tagline, good evening, SSN family. And he has that all ABMM, always be making money. We have no choice now. The cost of living is going to rise. Interest rates going to be increased even more. That means, think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Oftentimes, you don't understand. Just because these guys go, it's 0.5%. Well, here's how it works. Let's just say you have a product. You have to make the product. And let's just say the price went up 50 cents. Okay. Then you have to package the product. But the package guys have to raise their price 50 cents. That's $1. Then we have to transport the item to where it needs to go, whether it's a distribution center, whether it's a store, whether it's to your house. But that transportation now costs 50 cents. That's $1.50. But now we got to charge, the transportation guys have to charge you gas. So there's another 50 cents. So that item just went up $2 just because the Federal Reserve had to print all this money over the last 13 years. They didn't care. So you see my point. It just isn't just 0.5. It affects the transition or transaction of everything. That's what you have to remember. All right, let's keep moving. You can't trust no one, Vanessa Comagate says, with your money, but under your mattress. Hey, that's what grandma used to say. Like I said before, in case you're new here and don't know my story with the grandmother, when I was a kid and this person came up and there was 3 or 4 people with my grandmother sitting at the house. And this woman came up and she goes, hey, you guys, man, my paycheck I just took to the bank. And all of them said, my grandmother and their friends go, what? What are you doing? What do you mean you took your money to the bank? Because they lived during the Great Depression when the banks closed down. They don't trust banks. Banks closed, stole their money. So from that point on, as far as them growing up, the money was under the mattress. They were never taking their money to a bank ever again. Just so you know, Celsius freeze withdrawals, 18% yield, risk. Exactly. We were talking about it, Mr. Financial. That's what happens. So it's crazy. All right. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, you never know what's going to happen, but this high risk stuff, all these guys are doing high risk with your money. This is just incredible. I mean, it's incredible. Machinsky talking all this stuff for a year and a half. You know what's funny though? You guys know back in the day, I wanted to have Celsius Network on a live stream, but they would never come on the live stream because we had some questions. Well, I had some questions. I'm pretty sure you guys would have had some questions as well, because they control their own live stream. So they can actually, scroll past questions and go to certain questions. So it would have been very interesting because that was part of the questions that was going to have to be answered. Well, it was going to be asked. I don't know if they would have answered it. But because remember, they were giving out the 10% on BTC. They were giving out like 9%, 10%, like that to USA citizens at the time. So you have to remember, we were trying to figure out how you doing this, right? So that would have been maybe proprietary information, not said, but that would have been a question that would have came up. So it's incredible. Victor Morero says, Eric, guess what? I received the official email from Canarock Galaxy today. My closing date has been pushed back from November. What? 2022 to sometime in. Those others are drafted by lawyers. What the frick? Holy smokes. Yeah, speaking of that, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not here, Punta Cana Real Estate Properties, there's a CRISPR who put in their contract where they can raise prices to people. They did not put in a percentage, apparently. And now they are trying to take advantage of those buyers now that their buildings have been completed. And now the buyers have finished paying. But after the buyers paid, all of a sudden they're going, you owe us 20 grand more. You owe us 30 grand more. And they're all looking like, what are you talking about? And then they're like, oh, look, here in the contract it says, or doesn't say in some of their contracts. But I did hear something else today. I haven't got this official, so I can't say. This is unofficial, what I'm about to say right now. Panorama Lake, unofficial. There's word that somebody said they received information that it was 7% increase. Remember, in Panorama Project, I believe I don't even know where Laverne Penix, where he actually owns that. I don't think we ever said, but I think his contract might have been a Panorama. I don't know if his contract's in Vista Cana or not, but from what I understand, this is unofficial. This is not on the record yet, but they're saying 7% increase on Panorama Lake. Panorama Lake had 1 bedrooms at 60,000, I think. 2 bedrooms, because that was the first Panorama. So I think 2 bedrooms were like 90 maybe or 100. So we're talking about somewhere like 4,500 to over 7 or 8 grand potentially additional. So they do have the 10% in some contracts, up to 10%, I should say. The other caveat was they said, hey, maybe it might go down to 5%. So I don't know about the information, if it's accurate, but apparently this is going to come into play. So now everybody who owns a pre-construction in the Dominican Republic, I suggest you pull out your contracts and see if there's a clause in there about if there's a hurricane, if there's a whatever, force majeure of any kind, then we can raise it up a certain percentage is usually put in there. CRISPR didn't put a percentage in there. They left that blank. So therein lies the situation. But again, that's crazy, crazy. And this is getting crazier. Move back for Canarock for another year. I could ask Canarock for my money back based on my contract, but where will I be able to buy a 2-bedroom, 2-bath with Gulf View, walking distance to the beach for $231K in Punta Cana? So I'm stuck. Victor Morero, that's exactly right. You are stuck. But what I want to know, what's their penalty? What's their penalty? Is there a penalty? Because in the contract, well, I never saw a Canarock contract. And one of my contracts, maybe both, it said something about if they weren't able to deliver at their set time, then they would give you something. It was peanuts. And that's what I was pushing back about, because they were charging me like $1,000 a month. But for them, it was like interest or something, like $50 or something. So I was like, wait a minute, what if you don't finish it? You should owe me $1,000 per month. So let me know if yours has any remedy that you receive any funds for them pushing it back. Auntie Val, Victor, I'm sorry to hear that. Hope they are not asking for more money on this delay. Exactly. That's what I'm getting worried about, because the way the world is right now, everything costs more. If they haven't already built it, then they're talking about, we already know it's 30% increase in materials from the month of November. So we know overall material costs have increased 40%, especially if they don't already have the materials and they haven't built it yet. This could be approaching 50% materials costs, which could be, you know, a 20% increase in price, but maybe they have a cap. But again, Victor, you need to look at your contracts. I'm going to be looking at some of mine. So on Wednesday, we'll talk about this a little bit more. All right. Because this is crazy. Grandma was right, and neither do I. I pray before I do any investments. That's all you can do. But we can't win them all. That's the only problem. E-Money, Kel Slater, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Thank you so much for being here in the house. E-Money, big housing sale coming soon. Credit, debt, weapons will be good way to get deals, tax write-offs. Well, here's what's the downfall to the credit debt weapon. Now is the time to increase your credit score if it's possible. If it's possible, you need to get this thing as high as possible. They're gonna change the game on you. They're gonna make it where if you want, like what's about to happen, if you want a 6% interest rate loan, you're gonna need a 760. That's about what's gonna happen. And then they're gonna throw the hammer at you. You have a 720 to 760. Okay, well, I'm sorry. You're gonna have a 7% loan. And if you have like a 680 to 720, how about that 7.5? That's what's going to happen. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but if you're going to take out something like a debt weapon, then you make sure it's not for a single family home. If you guys saw my video, do not buy a home. That's right. If you're buying multifamily, then you get a loan because you need passive income to come back in to pay for that loan. Because you can charge people an arm and a leg for rent right now. And in fact, that's one way that you can save yourself. All right. And yes, I do have the 10K installment trade line option from the jewelry store. That's right. Intrigue Fine Jewelers, $10,000. Everyone nearly qualifies. They do a soft inquiry. That link is down below. But it is not the same as what used to be back 2 years ago. It's totally different. It's $149.99 membership fee. The only way the installment trade line post, and again, it's up to $10,000. It depends on what you buy. You have to put down 20%. You qualify, but you put down 20%, then you have a fixed monthly payment. That's why it's an installment trade line. That could help your credit on-time payments. All right. Now, the other thing I'll add in is because there's a benefit, SSN Lifestyle members, you automatically have a $149.99 membership into Intrigue Fine Jewelers. You guys know this. I didn't even drop this on the SSN Lifestyle channel, but I just told them it's a jewelry credit limit. You guys know it's going to be Intrigue. All right. So you still have time. 11 out of the 15 spots are still available for Founders Club members. All the other memberships is unlimited spots for that. All right, let's go. Wow, Marrero, that's crazy. Yeah, that is pretty crazy. A whole nother year. That's getting ridiculous because they did say like July 20 or June 2022 last year. Then they moved it to November. Now they're moving it to July 2023. Wow. Hi. Nene Bobo, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Thank you so much for being here. And says hi. What about home rent? Are going to rise or remain at the same rate? No, Nene Bobo. Rent's going to rise. There's a simple reason why rent's going to rise. When there's going to be, if you miss my video about do not buy homes, foreclosures, they're going to rise. So the people that have foreclosed homes, they're going to have to move to either with family or friends or rent a place. That means there's going to be a demand for rentals. That's one. Second, interest rates increasing means less people are going to buy homes. If they're not buying homes, guess what? They're renting. So now there's going to be more demand for rentals. Guess who owns a large percentage of those rentals? It's not just ordinary citizens, corporations. And corporations don't have a soul. So they're going to continue to raise rates. And we're not talking about as far as I'm concerned, legal. There, it's not going to be like you pay $1,700 a month now, and then they're going to raise it like 5%, right? Where it might be $75 or $100. No, they're doing $300, $400 increases year over year. No protection in a lot of states. So that's the levers that are going to occur over the next 24 months. So none of that helps anybody other than the people that are already holders of rental income properties. Or if you're able to obtain one now and have a multifamily property, I would highly suggest you should get yourself in position for that. Also, think about this. Down payments for property is going up as well. They're not just going to let you throw in 3%, 4%, 5%. These guys are going to get ruthless. They're going to say, no, we need 20% down. And I'm talking about, this could be, you could find yourself on a single family home. They want 20% down if this thing goes like I think it's going to go. And it could even go worse, where there's no credit available to ordinary citizens. That's when things are going to get really, really sketchy. All right, let's see what else. Victor Morel, hey, I received a flyer from Mr. Ho Chi Minh Astacio today. They're having an event in Boston, end of June, where they will present the best projects in Punta Cana. I would love to attend, but that's too far. Yep, exactly, Victor Morel. They need to have one in Orlando, Miami, Tampa, but it is what it is. They go to those high-end locations where people have, $1 million apartments. And so that's where they're going. New York, Boston, you know how they do it. But yeah, that would be cool. All right, Vanessa, Victor Morel, Vanessa Comagay, Nandi Val. I know the good thing is that my contract is one of the OGs. It really has some good things on my favor. Yeah, Victor Morel, let us know if you actually have anything in your contract, since yours is from 2019. Auntie Val, very good, sir. And let me know if there's anything in your contract where you receive compensation. I have in mind there's compensation, but again, it's so minimal, it's ridiculous. It's like $50 or $75 a month if they have to move it back. But hey, it's better than nothing. Yes, your contract is solid, Marrero. Andreen Miller's in the house. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Thank you so much for being here with the icon next to your name. And she says, hi, Eric and SSN family. Hello to you too. And she reminds me of a few things every time I see her. But first things first, please smash the like button or subscribe to the channel. Let us reach the 14,000 mark and click the all notification bell. So hopefully you'll receive a notification. And Andreen Miller, thank you so much for being here, because I always love saying this. Welcome everybody to the SSN Nation, SSN Academy, SSN University, the No Guru Zone. That's where we're at here, ladies and gentlemen. That's where you're at. So thank you so much for being here this evening. And once again, please subscribe to some of our social media. Down below in the description at the very bottom, you'll find things to like Telegram, TikTok, Instagram, Discord, Facebook. Please sign up with those, because again, since YouTube doesn't like giving out, thousands of notifications, then the only way you'll know there's a video possibly or has come out is because you'll be on our social media and you will notice, hey, there's a video that came out. Plus, I do some other things as well. All right, now, Victor Morel, reason for delay of supply chain, competition of construction materials delivery, lack of personnel due to all the projects they're building, and also customs bottleneck. Man, that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying. That's why this is scary. Trouble in paradise, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I have to say it, because that's what it is. It really is trouble in paradise, because when interest rates increase, everything costs more. All the materials cost more. The transportation and supply chain costs more. So here I forgot about something on this article. It wasn't just Celsius Network, ladies and gentlemen, that held people's money. How about Binance? How about those guys? I mean, this is getting crazy, right? Binance Celsius Network has 1.7 million customers and has forced it to temporarily halt all withdrawals, crypto swaps, and transfers between accounts. That's crazy. The UK registered company has about 3.7 billion in assets. Ladies and gentlemen, can you understand that these guys potentially could have their margin called, which means that's your money that's going to be siphoned off that they can't replace because it's used as collateral. Think about it. They're doing just what banks do, which is dumbass stuff. Binance, the world's largest, biggest cryptocurrency, suspended withdrawals on its Bitcoin network for a few hours today on Monday. All right. So see, ladies and gentlemen, this is why people in the crypto space have always said, not your keys, not your crypto. Not your crypto, not your keys. Now you know why. This is very scary stuff because crypto was supposed to be the people's money. And now you're finding out it's not the people's money. They're doing just what a bank does. They've always done what banks have done. It's traditional. You're just taking a higher risk with crypto. All right. It's a damn shame. All right. Let's see what else. Reason for delay. That's what that was for. All right. We're 56 minutes in. Let's get a update. It's the Warriors GSW versus the Boston Celtics at Chase Center in San Francisco. Now, we got our game 6 prediction. That's mine intact. So tonight, I don't know what the score is yet, but I expect at least 3 of the Warriors to go off. I do not expect a close game, actually. That's the funny part. Even though Boston is one hell of a defensive team, but they're not deep enough defensively. But so far, if you look at the stats, literally the Warriors on 4 games, their top 3 scorers hasn't went off yet. They're back at home after a 3-day rest, home cooking. I expect these guys to come out and at least have a third quarter or even a fourth quarter launch. So we'll see what happens. But I expect it to be 3-2 GSW, and I would be shocked if it's not. And then going back to the Garden, we'll see what happens because that's pressure. And everybody knows the Warriors game 6, Klay Thompson's going to be deadly usually. He has that reputation. All right, let's see here. Victor Morel says, my contract states I can get my money back. Yep, that's what mine says too. Or that they can start paying me rent for every delayed month. Yes, the same contract. I can check into it, but the letter was very well written by a lawyer. Yep, so that's the one that I have too, Marrero. Same thing. And then it said if I didn't come up with in 60 days to pay the remaining balance upon delivery, then they're going to charge me, like I said, I think it was $1,000 per month, where they only got to pay me like 50 or 75 or whatever it was. And I was like, man, send this back. They got to pay me $1,000 a month if they can't deliver. I was like, what kind of craziness is this? So that's all I remember about it. But yeah, that's pretty much the language that I remember about mine. So it's the same. So that's good. That's real good. But what about, is there any language of increase in cost? Like, I'll show you. Did I put this one in here already? Let me see if I didn't. I put it on, I had it on the screen, I guess. Yeah, that 3.4 clause that Mr. and Mrs. Cool sent me over. I showed it on the screen. And it was basically, it said up to 10%. And I don't know which project that was. So once again, we'll find out. Again, 1 hour in, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to the channel so we can get to the 14,000 mark. So maybe they'll unlock us from the dungeon up in here, ladies and gentlemen, from the YouTube dungeon. And you might have noticed I started dropping a little more videos because I had a little bit more time. I kind of got my schedule a little right lately. So I dropped 3 videos in a row every day, and they're going to continue. First one Well, not the first one, but yesterday. Do not buy a home. If you missed that one, go check it out. There's reasons why. 3 reasons, but there's actually more. And today, do not buy any stock. Why you shouldn't be buying any more stock. I dropped that today, just so you know that. All right. And tomorrow I might drop another one, what you should not buy, or what that could be. Right. It's going to have to wait and out. To get into this. And by the way, a little uproar about Epic and this price increase. That is pretty major because in their WhatsApp group, these guys literally have like 1,000 messages a day. They got like 50, 60 people that this is affecting at Christopher alone. Then other people are finding out and they're like, oh no, I have something at Panorama. I have something at Epic. I have something at Zayas, Vistacana. There's other people that are in there chiming in, talking about, yeah, they got these letters talking about it's going to cost me more at the end of closing. And I'm like, oh my God, everybody had that little, most people have a clause in it. Like I said, I'm gonna have to look at mine. So on Wednesday, we'll talk about it a little further, but it's shocking. It really is shocking. After you're paid off and then you're thinking, oh, this is great. And then you find out, oh yeah, you need another 10,000, another 7,000, another 15,000. That's terrible. All right, let's get into something else, ladies and gentlemen, because we like to talk about making money, but it's all about how do you make money? You make money because you always find a niche. Just like when we talk about on the SSN lifestyle, we're going to have the Ring of Fire, and we talk about fingernails to go. I made a video about that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, search the channel, Fingernails to Go. That is a great business opportunity, especially when women all over the planet go to nail stores. They're sitting there spending what? $35, $45, $105, $200, depending, especially if you want these nails that are specific with designs on them. It costs you a lot more because it takes time to do that. Fingernails to Go fills a niche where you can actually have 20 nails in about less than 5 minutes, already printed up on a printer that's made for the human body, the ink is. And so that is very, very cool. And when you start talking about a price point of $25, $30, $35, that is a win situation. And if the economy goes down, that fills a niche because nobody's going to want to pay $120, $150, $200, right? And spend 30, 45 minutes at the nail salon when you could have this done in 5 minutes. And yeah, you got to touch up and do whatever you got to do for an extra 5 minutes yourself. But so what? $35, $40 or less? Come on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I had to bring this up because once again, we don't want you out here buying the dip right now. If BlackRock says they're not going to buy anymore, they're not buying on the dip, the largest company, I got to bring this up. Yeah, if BlackRock's not buying the dip, the billionaire class, then you shouldn't be buying the dip, right? Don't buy the dip as it's going down. You guys have been very fortunate because here at the SSN Nation, I've went over charts before, and it's been on last Wednesday and on last Monday, one of those dates. I showed the chart during the Great Depression where it was stair step down, where you were basically dollar costing your average down in the 1929, 1930s. The stock market would drop 5 to 10%, and then it would go up 3%, 2-3%. And then all of a sudden it would drop another 3, 4, 5% over time, over a few months. And then you'll have good days that stair steps up 3, 4, 5%. And then all of a sudden it just kept stair stepping down. Just what's been happening here in the last 7 months. It's the exact same replicated chart. That should scare you. We talked about it last week before this latest crash. This is going down, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I have to say history matters. What did they do in the 20s? They did the exact same thing. They did printing of money in the 20s. That's why it was the roaring 20s, just like what happened between 2010 and 2020. All right? The roaring 20s. They printed money. What else did they do? Oh, we're big and bad now. So we're going to isolate ourselves from the rest of the world and create tariff wars so you can't sell to us and we're not going to buy from you. They isolated themselves, did this tariff war nonsense. That's two things that they did. Interest rates, three things up. Led to hyperinflation, ladies and gentlemen. All those same things happened in the last 12 years for the printing of money, right? Isolationism for tariff wars in 2017, 2018, 2019 until this day. Increase in prices because of tariff wars. And then we have inflation, and the Federal Reserve can't do a damn thing about it because they're going to have to increase the interest rates. So it's either higher interest rates or higher inflation. Take your pick. But either way, there's going to be higher inflation and higher interest rates. Double whammy. And we already have literally about 100 million people have lost their jobs. So now you have businesses that are gone. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. You don't have the infrastructure and you don't have a world war nothing coming anytime soon because all countries are being affected by this inflationary because the world is global. So think about it. But buying the dip just isn't working anymore is this article from Barron. All right. Understand this came out May 19th, by the way. All right. So this is not anything that's new. They already knew what was going to happen because, again, just like everybody here in the SSN Nation, you guys knew before May 19th because I've talked about the stair step. I've talked about the walls, what happened in Wall Street in the 1920s and 30s before. This isn't new to you. So they already know it's not new to them either. But they're not trying to put it on the New York Times, Wall Street Journal. They're the backwood barons. Okay, that's great. They're not going to scare you with CNBC or CNN or Fox Business. They're not going to scare you and tell you, hey, look at these charts. Just looks identical. Just what happened back then. They're not going to tell you all this thing, the stuff I just told you right now. So you can't be prepared. You're sleepwalking. People are out there just talking about, oh, look at the gas prices. They're out astronomical. Oh, losing money in my 401k. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, it's worse than that. All right? It's a lot worse than that. Believe me, that's not even the tip of the iceberg. You're worrying about your 401k going down. What if your 401k doesn't even exist anymore? That's what you need to worry about. All right? What if everything goes up 3 times the price it is right now in the course of the next 12 months? That's what you need to worry about. All right? So you're going to have to get some business going, and that's why we have SSN Lifestyle. In case you don't know what that is, the link is down below. And in fact, let me talk about something. Okay, here we are. Hold on, I gotta do some other things because I have some chats going on. Okay, get a cold wallet and get your coins off the exchanges now, people. Real talk. Exactly, Professor Auntie-Val. I should have said that too. I'm backing it up again. She said it. Get your monies off of exchanges. That's why last night I was like 2 nights ago, I was sitting there like, you know what? I need to get my money out of Celsius. All of a sudden, like I said, couldn't withdraw. I didn't know they actually had no blurb came up. It just was acting stupid. I said, okay, maybe the network's down. Maybe that's why I can't send it over. I was like, okay, that's weird. And then last night I saw something pop up on YouTube talking about Celsius is blocking withdrawals. I was like, no wonder. And that also means Nexo could be next. And they're already doing Binance. Well, just for a few hours today, but that's the precursor. In fact, you guys need to get your money off of the exchanges altogether. Pretty basic. Don't hold them on exchanges at all right now, or Nexo, or BlockFi, or anything. And in fact, I'm withdrawing off of the Nexo prop as well. So we'll see how that goes. Scary stuff. Yes, exactly, Curtis Davis. Money locked up. No, nothing about the potential increase of cost. I'll send you a copy so you can compare against yours. Yeah, I don't remember any cost on mine either, but the guys I think sent over that. I think that was a Panorama contract. So I'm gonna have to look at mine too. I hate looking at those contracts because they're long, and I hope I have my English ones still. Auntie Val Fax, Dubs, 32-24, 8 minutes left in the second. Okay, they're only up by 8. That's not bad. That's right where they should be. But Boston, they play great D. They probably are going to make a little run. But again, I think as long as it's 50-50 at the half, I think it's going to be the third quarter is going to have a run, double digits. I need to contact those fingernail guys and see how the event went. Yes, Vanessa Comagate, they're busy. So we'll see how it goes. They're changed up a little few things. As far as I know, they're financing the countertop unit. Because Butch did send me a message, and I was in shock because on their website they had that blurb, blurb down at the bottom where it was saying $89 a month or $100 a month. I was like, that's crazy, because if you're going to finance the countertop unit, there's a whole market for countertop units. And now you're saying a person could pay like $200 or $300 and there can be in business? That is awesome. All right, Curtis Davis, all assets can go down. Redbox. Yeah, Redbox. I saw Curtis Davis, Mr. Financial, ladies and gentlemen, also known as Mr. Financial here, but known as Chili Davis on his YouTube channel. You have to go check it out because he posted up something earlier today about Redbox had an increase. I wasn't able to watch the video though, but nonetheless, it appeared from your title that Redbox had a price increase of 30%. That's incredible, unbelievable. But yes, all assets can go down. But because the United States is world currency, because they print money, because they have the banking system in place, generally they're not going to be like Venezuela or Turkey, Zimbabwe, nothing like that, right? Because they can come back and print money. So, and they know what they can do. They just have to get the interest rates higher faster. That's what they have to do. So this is why it would be no surprise if there was a 0.75 increase. I don't think they have the guts to do 1%. But if they can get those interest rates higher, even if they're for 6 months, if they can get it up to 8% or 9% in the next 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, that will go a long way. Why? Because you stimulate the economy when you can reduce the interest rate. So the faster they can get up to the 7, make sure everybody's at 7, 8, 9, then for a few months they can leave it there, and then all of a sudden they can take off a point and then another point. And then the next thing you know, we're right back to where they're able to print money and give money to their best buddies and buy up all the assets because prices just dropped. So think about the playbook. I'm letting you know, and you know the playbook, so you can take advantage of these things. All right. But a bottom line is how to save yourself. Short the stock right now is the way I look at it. The indexes, you could short actually stocks, but what I'm talking about is if something says they are shorting the Dow, if a stock or an ETF says that, think about getting involved, in my opinion. Let me know what you think. But the other thing is make sure you start a business, because that's the only other way you can save yourself. Because if you get laid off, fired, your position is removed, whatever the case may be, now what, right? You're going to have to produce some income from somewhere. And then what else can you do? You can start your podcast. You can be on YouTube. But again, go to Chili Davis website, show him some love because he's part of the SSN Nation. Give him some subscribers so that way it helps out. Watch his videos because it's real out here in the field. He's trying to do the damn thing. UVXY up 10% today. Yes, we know, because whenever there's a 2 or 3% drop in the index, that means almost about 10% increase for UVXY. It means about a 7, I believe, for VIXY whenever that occurs. But ladies and gentlemen, you get 2 days of this and you have a 20% increase, 15% increase, 20% increase. We have to talk about Gino Chimiente, where he says, you know what, I'll take my 20, 25, 30% profit right now. I have no problems with that. Give me that every week if I can get it. Nexo offered to buy Celsius. Oh, what? Auntie Val, are we talking about as of right now, today? Or are we talking about they offered to buy Celsius months ago or last year or something? That would, see, that's a merger. That's almost like a bankruptcy situation. They're sitting there. They have collateral. They staked our collateral. They don't have the money. If they release withdrawals, then there'll be a bank run because everybody's scared. They're going to take their money out, except they're not going to have all the money. Our money's staked somewhere. So sure, some people will be able to cash out, but the majority of people won't. They say there's 1.7 million people. Let's just say there'll be 1 million people that won't be able to get their money. Let's just put it that way. All right. So this is no shocker. This is this is so disgusting because this is what happened in 2008, 2009 with the banking industry when Ben Bernanke runs into the government and says the sky is going to fall if you guys don't give them trillions of dollars to the banks. This is the same thing that happened, except they said, Lehman Brothers, I'm sorry. We're not going to give you guys any bailout. You're going to have to fall. The rest of you, we got you. That's what Nexo's trying to do here. If that's the offer right now, that's what's happening. Because I see it has to be like now because there'd be no other reason before now. So that's the situation there. Celsius is like Lehman Brothers right now on the teeter. Well, they're not Lehman Brothers. They're like more like Bank of America, let's call it. Wells Fargo, who needs somebody to give them a loan or merge with somebody. All right. Like Countrywide, right? Bank of America bought Countrywide. Same kind of thing. Countrywide is who Celsius is right now. So all I'm saying is that's how the game plays, but they're acting like fiat. That's bad. Vanessa Comagate, yes, I think that's great. Okay, it's a business opportunity. I can sell a biz in a box. Exactly, Vanessa Comagate. That's why the countertop is that's a unique program. And you have a plan for it, which I love. And so that is what makes it very special. And if you can get that countertop unit, going back to James Way, when he was talking about debt in order to produce revenue, exactly the point there. If somebody says I can put $300 in and then I'm only going to pay $99 a month, and now you're out here making money, that's a worthwhile investment. All right. So that's pretty good. No, they posted the offer today on Twitter. There we go. It's today. I had a feeling it had to be because there would be no other reason any other time up until today. They wouldn't have had a reason, but now they know they're not liquid. And that is the best time to do something when you think about it. But now we're going to get back to business. So this is why I started SSN Lifestyle, by the way. You guys know that. Everybody else on the planet now knows because there's now a video out on the SSN Lifestyle YouTube channel. And so you guys aren't the only ones that know about it anymore. The rest of the world knows about what's going to happen. But the opportunity is based on because we knew that there's going to be hard times. And then you knew how are you going to be able to make money. And that's why we start with the zero, because it's still part of the no guru zone. There's a zero where you can be an affiliate or referral. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, I should add this. Anybody going to the Essence Festival or wanted to go to the Essence Festival and then didn't have a place to stay? Well, we have studios and 1 bedrooms available for the Essence Festival, which starts up in about 3 weeks, 2 weeks. Yeah, 2.5 weeks. June 30th through July 3rd are the official dates. But as you know, if you're going to this Essence Festival, then when you arrive on Thursday, stuff is already popping off. You can't check in till 4 p.m. So sometimes you want to stay the day before, the 29th. So then that way, when you wake up, the party starts. Then on the 3rd, they don't end at 11 a.m. in the morning or start at 11 a.m. in the morning and finish. You're going to have to stay another day if you want to stay into the evening and check out the show until late Sunday night. So that means you have to check out the 4th. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Studio, 1 bedroom, 1 in the Garden District, One's going to be in the French Quarter, right by Canal Street. All right. And there might even be another one that's a block from Canal Street. But nonetheless, SSN Lifestyle members, whether you rent it out and make money yourself because it's commissionable, or you can go yourself and you get a reduced rate. Part of the lifestyle, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Here we are. It's a business I can sell in a box. That's it. No, they posted on Twitter. Cool. The financial system versus big Ponzi scheme, except over petrodollar, holds all the power. Exactly, Curtis Davis. This is why, with regard to crypto, this is why there's been adamant opponents against crypto. Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, and others, because it's not a business. They don't produce anything is their thoughts, right? Since it doesn't produce anything, then it can't hold under pressure. And now you're finding out this pressure could be very, very heavy, especially when the stock market's not going up and they've infiltrated the crypto market. Therefore, they're in tandem. And look, I think stocks are going to go down even further, which that doesn't bode well for crypto. That means crypto's going down further. And that's why Professor Auntie Val is predicting her 18.9 to 12.2 number, somewhere in that range is where Bitcoin's going to ultimately fall. I have to agree with her on the 17. I'm on the upper end scale, but I agree with her down to 17,000. It could possibly go, which means below 20 G's, which means Michael Saylor and some other people are going to have to be called and buy up or sell their shares, which means you're going to have 30, 40, 50 million dollars, $100 million of Bitcoin on the open market. And that's just going to facilitate the pressure down. And that also means some altcoins are going to go bye-bye. And some altcoin chains are going to go bye-bye, unfortunately, as well. All right. Dubs, 51.39 at the half. Auntie Val, here we go. Here we go. I guess they're getting that three-prong offensive attack because they've never had one. How are they going to go 5 games without Poole, Thompson, Curry not doing the damn thing and not having at least Otto Porter Jr. or another person off the bench come in and do their thing? The odds of that occurring is slim to none, but it happened the first 4 games. They're playing at home after a 3-day rest. So I was predicting 51.39. They're already at 12 digits. We'll see what happens after half because I think they're going to come out with, they should be, if they're up by 12 now, I think the Celtics will come back in the third quarter slightly, but I think going into the fourth, we'll still see double-digit lead. But I expect more than just a 12-point lead. I expect it to be 15, 16, something like that. Ride it on home. That's what I expect to see. Nexo plus Celsius brings liquidity for all outstanding obligations. Exactly, Curtis Davis. They're basically doing what the federal government did with the banking industry in 2008, 2009. Because they have to solidify. So you have to understand, this is all on the line when you're talking about earnings, right? So remember, Coinbase, KuCoin, all the exchanges, they also have earns and pool and stake pools. Think this affects everybody that has a stake pool. Remember earlier in the year and last year when we were talking about how you leverage your crypto, where you could put it in a stake pool and then you can borrow against that stake pool. That is what Celsius Network has done. That's what a whole bunch of people and these companies have done. So they can't just yank it out. It's locked. So they're in the same scenario. Who's liquid? Nexo apparently is liquid. So they can buy Celsius. Together, they could possibly do something. And so when the next one falls, it won't be the Winklevoss brothers of BlockFi because they're in with the banks. The banks will lend them liquidity. There's no bones about it. So any other company they might join, they'll lend them or buy them out or merge or whatever you want to call it. And so there you go. That's how it's going to go. I find it a bona fide offer. Gino Shimiente, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And he says, how is everyone tonight? We're all doing great. Hopefully you're doing well. And he's in the house, ladies and gentlemen. The man is here. The man that predicted all of this every time, years ago, months ago, weeks ago, days ago. Oil prices going up, he said. When people thought he was crazy when it was 105, 110, he was like, 130, don't worry about it. It's going to 130. And all of a sudden it hit 120. Now it's at 120 something. It's like, holy smokes, this man's on time all the time. He was talking about the Great Depression. He says, we're going to the Great Depression. So don't be surprised about the stock market going down. I say the same thing. I go Great Depression light. That's what I'm calling it. He's talking about full-blown depression, which means we're talking 86%, ladies and gentlemen. Let me give you an idea. What's just happened in crypto is what happened in the Great Depression, where coin prices, stock prices went to zero, or some went down. The ones that stayed alive, 86%. That's close to 90%. That's what crypto has done, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine if the stock market did that again in today's era. Oof. That would be terrible. That would be terrible. Dow will go down to, oh my God. Gino, hold on, man. Hold on, man. Dow will go down to 24. Holy moly. If this happens, Gino, you know companies are out of business. That means millions of people are going to be laid off. That means companies are going to be gone, wiped off the map. Infrastructure will be ruined. Going down to get groceries. This would be incredible. You're talking about another 20 some percent decrease in the Dow. Jeez. Wow. And if crypto goes down to 8Gs, that's a total crypto wipeout. I mean, that would be incredible. But Gino Chimiente, unfortunately, I'm going to have to agree with you. I have to agree. I mean, I'm not going to the extent of 8,000 to crypto, but I 24,000. That's I'm looking at Great Depression light. So we're talking about 80% decreases. Yeah, 24,000 from, that could be it. That's where it would go. Hey, that's scary, ladies and gentlemen. Now you understand you're going to have to save yourself. And hey, you guys better get that Costco card, that Sam's Club card. You better get in there and get your staples. Simply beans and rice will do, and a whole bunch of water, because you could find yourself in a situation where your city, state may not have its facilities running. In fact, for all my friends watching here in the SSN Nation who live in Las Vegas, I told my aunt this, I suggest you guys go out to Lake Mead, because you guys are still in denial. I told my aunt she better sell her house. In fact, I'm going to call her up again tomorrow and tell her, please sell your house. Sell the house. I know it went up in value. They bought the house when, I'll just put it this way. You guys might know in Vegas, there's a place called Summerlin. There was no Summerlin like 15 years or 20 years ago. I can't remember when they moved there, but it's been a while. Literally, it was in Las Vegas. It's West Las Vegas, and it was in the foothills. So it was the address is still, well, it might be Summerlin, but nonetheless, it's in the foothills, and that's all there was. It was just dirt and foothills. Fast forward like 15 to 20 years later, and all of a sudden, it's called Summerlin, and they have mega mansions out there. There's no water, ladies and gentlemen, in Lake Mead. Hold on. I'll preface this. Lake Mead used to be about 100 feet deep. All right. It's below 30 feet deep right now. That gives you an idea. That lake feeds to the water supply for almost all of Las Vegas. It's dropped in the month 10 feet. and it's summertime. They truly have a problem. And if you live in Vegas, that means you're going to have a problem. All right. Just think about it before it gets too late. And that's another trigger, flashpoint, catalyst that if a city goes down like Vegas, where all of a sudden people are moving out, like what happened before, and you can find yourself a $100,000 house that used to be 600,000. That could happen if there's no water. So you better think about it, ladies and gentlemen, but go out to Lake Mead or just search YouTube, because there's people out there at Lake Mead and they're walking around and you can see it for yourself. You can't even put boats out there for a boat launch. That's how low it is. All right. So you guys got to pay attention. These are all catalysts that's coming. MicroStrategy moved over 2K Bitcoin to separate wallet today, according to reports. Ready to dump, maybe? That ain't going to be enough. That's not going to be enough. No, they're waiting for the margin call. That's what they're doing. 2,000 times 30,000. They're going to have a serious margin call. Remember, these guys have like $200 million that's leveraged. I mean, they bought 200 million, but I think around 60 million of it or more is leveraged. So that's why they have to move 2K over, at least, because they're going to have to pay at 20,000. So that gives you an idea right there, 40 mil. So they're going to have to pay a lot of money if this thing goes to 20. Bitcoin touched 20K just a few minutes ago, back to 21.5. Uh-oh, that meant a margin call. There you go, Professor Auntie Val. Now you know why they moved the 2K over. They just got margin called. Some people don't understand what I'm saying. Let me go. Why don't we go check this out? Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. I was showing this before. MicroStrategy, if it went to 20, that's a margin call. Margin call price is around 20,400. Short sellers profit as Bitcoin drop moves. MicroStrategy dangerously close. Holds Bitcoin at a... Okay, hold on. You guys seeing this? Okay, here we go. Right. That's not the one I want to see. I want to see Microsoft stock falls 25% on Bitcoin plunge. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Look at this right here. I told you these guys were always lying. I knew it wasn't no damn 20,000 before the margin call. I still think it's not. But here we go. $713 million. These guys are playing with your money. Hey, every MicroStrategy stockholder, he played with your money and put it into crypto. When it was going up, we're all good. But when it does this, what's happening right now, it's all bad. And $1 billion loss is pretty significant. 713 million plus whatever they had to give up. That is not good. But here we go. Down 18%. BTC price falls below 25K in last 24 hours. Michael Saylor hasn't sold any of his Bitcoins yet, but faces a margin call if the BTC price falls to 21K. Ladies and gentlemen, that's why he just got margin called then. He got margin called. Not only did he get margin called, his stock price dropped 25% today. Holy smokes. In case you don't know what this means, their stock price used to be around $500, $600, $700, $800. MicroStrategy has 129,000 BTCs. See here at an average price of 30,700. I knew they bought it 30,000, worth nearly 3.97 billion. Well, he's about to give up. Well, it's not worth 3.97 billion anymore. It's worth 3.1, I guess. The chances of a fall to 21K are quite high as several factors weigh in. Well, if it hasn't dropped already, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. He took out a 205 million Bitcoin collateralized loan with Silvergate Bank to buy more Bitcoins. Wow. Here we go. Playing games. MSTR. I think that's what it. Yeah, that's what it is. This is MicroStrategy stock. This is crazy, ladies and gentlemen. This is how the game. This is what I'm talking about. The top 10 percenters, they mess up different ways. You would think these guys are holding billions of dollars, and this is what they do. They play around and leverage themselves. And his stock used to be, here we go. Let me show you. 1 year, 75% drop, ladies and gentlemen. 52-week high, $891. 52-week low, $134. He's going to be at 134 if this margin call situation occurs tomorrow. All right. Now, they have revenues of only $510 million for his company. And you guys know, you saw the numbers, 205 million purchase. That's crazy, of Bitcoin. And it's collateralized. Scary stuff for investors of MicroStrategy. In my opinion, that is insane. All right. That is insane. Bitcoin touched 20K. That means he would have had to be margin. Powell and Yellen, they don't know what they're doing. They are way behind the 8 ball. Gino Chimiente, it's funny that you mentioned that. Can you believe what Yellen was saying today? Again, old people who should be gone. I don't know what, this is crazy. She started saying things like, oh, inflation isn't a problem. I was like, is this for, I couldn't believe it. Is this 2022 or was this 2015 or something? Because I was just like, what is she talking about? I mean, this is crazy. I mean, this is scary and crazy. There will be a lot of layoffs. You have not seen nothing yet. Jobs will be lost in foreclosures. Exactly, Gino Chimiente. We have seen nothing yet. Lots of love. Lake Mead feeds Arizona and Nevada. That's correct. And Southern California, the Colorado River comes by there at the dam. Lake Mead is the dammed water. It's going to affect the whole area. So, yeah, y'all in Arizona, you too. Time to sell those expensive pads and get the hell out. I'm telling you. LA, you guys are having water wars shortly. But LA, they have the caveat of Northern California where there's rain and it's wet. They have the caveat that they can send water down to LA. So that is one of the things about California that's a little different. But if you're in Arizona, Colorado, New Mexico, places like that, water wars coming to the West Coast soon. And water still goes to Southern California from the Colorado River. Scary, ladies and gentlemen. Scary. Yes, MicroStrategy, the margin call coming from any company, Tesla and others, maybe ARK. Exactly. I don't think Tesla borrowed, though. I don't think Tesla borrowed, Mr. Financial. Let me see. So look. Here, this gives you an example of what we used to talk about regarding, remember when we used to talk about borrowing your crypto and we would talk about, hey, just borrow 10% or 12% because a price drop in cryptos of 50, 60, 70, 80% do happen? Well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. I don't know if Tesla borrowed. They're saying Musk and Saylor down a combined $1.5 billion. Wow. Wait, MicroStrategy. Okay, so far, only MicroStrategy shows. Oh. Nope. He didn't do a crypto loan with Maker DAO, it looks like. So he's good. He didn't do it. It doesn't appear that Elon did any leverage. But then again, Elon just shouldn't have to do any leverage. But he's done leverage. We just don't know about it because he's actually has his stocks that he owns with Tesla. He has those collateralized for other loans. Just like that's why he can't do the full loan himself if he tries to do the Twitter deal. And that's why he's asking everybody else to chip in and getting loans and doing all this crazy stuff instead of just buying it outright. So he's because he can't just sell his shares of stock. They're collateralized. Again, risky stuff they're doing. Risky stuff. Too many people got a lot of margin calls. That is why the market has been dropping. They have to come up with cash. Exactly, Gino Chimiente. And that cash is not in the crypto space no more. It's not in the gold and silver. You can't just go and whip out the gold and silver and run down to the coin store and, hey, man, I need a few $100,000. Now, can't do it. And so a lot of people are getting liquidated. Unless they had that stack of cash or they're like Elon or something, and you can say, hey, give me, I can borrow against my collateral in my account. But even that's going to be risky because you're only going to be able to borrow maybe 30%, 20% of that because these guys aren't going to allow you to go over 40, 50% or anything like that in today's environment. Margin call is all about risk. So think about that, ladies and gentlemen. And Gino Chimiente brings up a very, very valid point. I agree with you. I didn't even think about all the margin calls that actually happened today from just stocks in general and what happened in crypto because it went from 29 or 28 down to 20. Definitely margins. That's 30%. That's crazy. In less than 24 hours, people definitely got liquidated. So prices are going down, ladies and gentlemen. Just in, Michael Saylor's Bitcoin investment is now at 1.2 billion unrealized loss. Yep, that's what that article was talking about. I didn't know it was current because they were saying 1.3 billion unrealized loss. Exactly. His MicroStrategy stock's going to go down even further tomorrow. There's some Fed regulation pending. Hey, if they're still alive, I don't know how you're going to have Fed pending when freaking, it's just about another 5,000 coins just went out of business. Crypto coins, that is. I don't know how you're going to regulate it when all of them are dead. That's crazy. Now you see why job market came out last week. They lied. Exactly, Gino Chimiente. That's what we were talking about. We knew that was a lie. That was just ridiculous, just like the inflation numbers a lie because they're going to try and prop it up. We all knew all of this is a lie, ladies and gentlemen. The government's been nothing but a propaganda machine for the last 400 years. It's the same old, same old. All right, breaking. Nearly 103 million worth of MicroStrategy's Bitcoin has been liquidated amid massive BTC sell-off below 21,000 support. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. 103 million. And you guys already saw, remember, he had 205 million. He borrowed against that, which means there's actually another liquidation that happened because he leveraged against the 205 million. And now he has another margin call that's coming up as well. So he's got a double one that they don't even talk about as far as I'm concerned. Oh my God, you're kidding. Nope, she's not kidding. They just posted it. She's right. There we go. It happened, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on a second. This is crazy. This is crazy. Liquidated. Oh, my. Let me see if I can actually pull it up. So Saylor has to liquidate BTC. Whiskers from liquidation. Trust nodes. No whiskers. He is at it. Michael Saylor is going to be on his channel tonight. There's people saying he wouldn't be liquidated at 21. He's going to be. He's not going to have a choice. He's not, I don't think he's holding the money. It's used as collateral. So either he has to pay them or they're just going to take it. So that would mean his unrealized loss is going to be greater, because if he has to come up with, what was the number? 103 million. That's, where's he going to get that from? His company only has revenues of 500 million a year, so he can't be using that. So this is going to be very, very bad, ladies and gentlemen. MicroStrategy, she said just posted, so has been liquidated. Where did you see this, Professor? Where did you see this? Saylor liquidated on Twitter. Yep, here we go. So once again, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to point out something. So you remember when Michael Saylor, all this year, when everything was going down over the last 7 months, he made himself more vocal, and he's out here telling people, oh, don't worry, just for Bitcoin holding, I'm strong, I feel good, right? Well, that was real nice, because he's borrowing money to do that, and he's using your stock holdings to buy the Bitcoin, and it's not coming out of his pocket. So now that it's been liquidated, that is going to be very interesting, because I think he's going to come out. In fact, he's probably running a live stream right now saying, no, I'm not worried. But I can't find it. I was trying to find it, if it's on here. Saylor liquidated. I did see it. It would have had to. It went down to 21. So it would have had, I mean, it went down to 20. So I don't, if he had a 21 liquidation, I don't think they would have waited till it hit 20 and then came back up to 21. The only thing I can think that would have happened is maybe some help comes in. He calls his buddies and say, hey, man, I'm about to put in this 103, but I need this to be a loan on the hush side. I need 103 from you, but I'm putting in 103 so I don't get liquidated. I can't find it, but it's okay. That's incredible. Yeah, if it hit 20, I think it happened. Oh my God, you're kidding. Nope, just posted. Okay, that's what we're talking about. Our government have been asleep at the wheel for years. Exactly, Curtis Davis. Coinbase legit. Yes, Coinbase is legit, because they're basically an entity of the government as far as I'm concerned. They're in San Francisco. There is get your free $10 from Coinbase down below in the description. I have that, and a free $5 from Webull of crypto. Get that down below. CN, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And yes, Coinbase is legit. They're a government entity. They had to get approval before they even opened up to U.S. citizens, like 7 years ago or whatever it was. So they're legitimate. But with all exchanges, do not keep your money sitting there. Okay? Because basically they're just an extension of the United States government. That's all they are. So I just look at Coinbase as a bank. So if anything hits the fan, they'll jack your money. All right? It's that simple. So just keep that in mind with Coinbase. So that's why Coinbase is used to upload and then move your money. That's all it is. Don't be messing around. I mean, move your crypto. Don't be messing around on Coinbase. All right? This is what was happened in 2000. You are seeing it today. A lot of companies will go out of business. The dot-com bubble is what he's referring to, ladies and gentlemen. This is what happened. This is exactly what happened. This is similar, except there's a few well, it's the same thing with the stock market, except the thing back then, the government didn't care about this, the dot-coms. They were like, all right, good, F you. We're not bailing you out. That's the difference. Right now, the government will not be bailing out anybody. The hedge funds aren't bailing out anybody. Therefore, we may be in a free market situation, which means a free fall. And this is why Gino Chimiente is giving you those dire warnings. This is why I've been here giving dire warnings. And now some of you are sitting there going, wait a minute, I'm starting to believe these dire warnings, because people, this stuff is going down. Gino, thanks for the 20% gains. Exactly. That's exactly right. Gino Chimiente, that is why a lot of companies don't do stock options anymore. Like in 2000, they got burned. Exactly, Gino Chimiente. That's it. Curtis Davis ledgers can be dangerous because many multiply their money 7x. So you have 1.1 million can be 7 million. The billionaires or millionaires can. Exactly. Because just like what Saylor's going to do, if he's liquidated, which apparently he was, and he had to pay the 103 million just to stay even. So then that means he's going to have to replace that 103. Where's that going to come from? Stockholders potentially, but stockholders aren't going to love that. So his price should be dropping tomorrow. What time is it? Oh, too late now. And after hours tomorrow morning, it's probably going to start dropping. And the rest of the markets are going to start dropping as well, because a lot of these companies have exposure to cryptocurrency. They just keep it like a hush hush. So think about it, ladies and gentlemen. But here we are. All right. We're up here 1 hour, 50 minutes in. Please smash the like button. And if you like what we're talking about, again, please subscribe to the channel. We're trying to get to the 14,000 mark. The reason why is because we're trying to unlock this SSN Nation channel, because they put us in the doghouse, because we talk about these things that help people. Because once you understand what the enemy is doing, and I hate to put it in these terms, but the enemy is your government, and the other enemy are corporations and banks and financial institutions and Wall Street. Once you understand they are playing in their own rigged game against us, and now they've messed up. So now is the time that you can pounce and get the best information that you can get. And if you're here, you're getting some of the best information because you're hearing it. Professor Auntie Val, she has her predictions on how far crypto will go and the stock market. Gino Chimiente, he has his predictions on where it would go. I have my predictions on where it would go. It's all based on information, ladies and gentlemen. It's just not something out of thin air. All right. And we go by history as well. And we realize the federal government, they don't have any levers of power in this. All they can do is print more money and give it to their favorite corporations to save them. That in turn means more higher inflation. That's what that means. They don't want to do that, because if you do that, you're not going to be able to return to lower interest rates. This could be 5 years, 6 years. This could be the 1970s all over again. When the next thing you know, you have mortgage rates of 12 or 13 or 14%. Car loans, 27, 30%. All right. This is why they don't have any power at this point. They messed up. They didn't stop like they should have 3-4 years back. Instead, they doubled down. And now we're all in the matrix. And these guys messed up. So it's up to us when they mess up. This is where millionaires could be made. If we sit here and wait till Gino Chimiente says it goes down to 24,000. Okay, I believe it. Even if it went 26, 25, I believe it. Either way, it's going down as far as I'm concerned, the Dow, that is. Crypto, I believe it's going down deeper myself right now. Simply because Michael Saylor, he by himself possibly made it go down to 20. That's how simple this is. So I'm just saying, ladies and gentlemen, and there's people shorting BTC anyhow. So there's a bunch of stuff in play. So if these all go down to where they're 30% more, we're in a full-blown depressionary situation. Interest rates going up, inflation going even higher. They're going to have to get money from somewhere, the United States government, to bail out their buddies. That means the banks, the financial institutions, the Wall Street, corporations, to keep this thing afloat. And that just leads to more hyperinflationary situations, which now means people are laid off. Companies are going out of business. Your bank account could be stolen if you have your money in a bank. Your 401k money could be stolen if it's sitting in a 401k account at one of these Wall Street firms. Bitcoins, cryptos, all that could be stolen because they're going to be jacking and looking for money from all over the place. And guess what? No gun's going to be used. And your money's going to be taken, stolen. And good luck sitting there talking about the FDIC said I get up to $250,000 back. Good luck with that. All right. Come on now. Wake up. Don't stay asleep here. Make sure you go out here and get your food. But again, how do we combat this? That's how do you save yourself? That's what you're going to have to do. First is the knowledge. And then second, you figure out, where can we go with this knowledge? What moves can we make? You can short the market, because if Gino Chimiente is correct and the market goes down another 20%, 30%, that means when you short the market with the velocity stocks that I say, and you can short stocks in themselves, you could have improvements of 100, 200, 300% in a matter of weeks on your money. So think about that. It's a risk, of course, but nonetheless, we all think it's going down. It's pretty much a given. That's all I can say. It's just a given. But he said it best right there. Repeat. Mr. Financial says, repeat 2000 to 2001, repeat 2008. BTC company may go bust. By the way, BTC is a company. Thank you for mentioning that, Curtis Davis. BTC co-opted the name BTC for Bitcoin, and it actually is a company. No regulation, no backstop. Yep, Yellen and Powell should be fired as far as I'm concerned. The future is going to be bad. Exactly, Gino Chimiente. And they rehired. Biden rehired Powell. I know why he did it. The reason why he did it is because Powell acquiesced to the previous president by reducing interest rates to damn near zero. And that was the bad thing. So he figured, okay, if I tell you to increase the interest rates, then he'll do that. He plays ball, and they're all in the top 10% club. So whatever they do, they know they always have a safety net with Powell. Powell will loan these guys money left and right without any collateral, without asking for anything back. He'll just say, oh, we'll write it off. We'll loan you more money. So that's why they want to keep Powell there as the man at the top. So there's some other Fed presidents who don't agree with Powell. And there's a hell of a lot of people that don't agree with Janet Yellen. And so the only way you can win is if he kept Powell in his spot. And then Janet Yellen, well, she's just stupid. I mean, come on. It's just crazy. Sports break. Boston 63, GSW 61. That's not good. So the Boston Celtics came back in the third quarter at home, GSW at home. My. So they did not take off in the third quarter like they were supposed to. And Boston showed back up with their great defensive abilities for at least this quarter. And that means the 3-point barrage from the four guys I mentioned before, it didn't happen in the third quarter. Damn, that's terrible. Under the mattress. So it's going to be a dogfight out west. We are in a recession right now. They're not telling you the truth. Exactly, Gino Chimiente. Only the truth is, well, not only here, but we've been telling the truth here in the SSN Nation for years, ladies and gentlemen. So you are not behind the curve. You knew what to expect, which is part of the battle. Credit card outage over the weekend in New Jersey and New York. Oh, yeah. Thank you for bringing that up, Mr. Financial. We talked about this last year, gave you guys some stats about it back then. Don't be surprised, just like I said last week, if the ATM machines stop working. Remember, cash money has to be in the ATM machines in order for you to get cash money out. Think about it, all right? Because the cash money is not in your bank. I'm just saying, we're in a situation, ladies and gentlemen. This is like 1929 all over again. You guys aren't getting it. 1929 to 1930. This is where we're at right now. We're in early stages of 1928, late 1928. That's where we're at right now. And then all of a sudden, one day, you're going to wake up and be like, does the Dow actually say 24? Does that really say 20? Does NASDAQ? What does that say? No way. NASDAQ? Does that really say like 5,000? You're going to be like, oh my God, what the hell's going on around here? And then you're going to go down to your bank and they're going to say, I'm sorry, we don't have any money for you. And you're going to go, all I need is $200. They're going to go, we don't have money for you. And then the next day you're going to go to the bank and it's going to be closed. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, in case you're not watching our videos here, my videos here, then you may have missed that video that I showed where banks were closing in the USA. 2,200 banks closed in the USA in 2021. And there are actually some places where people put money in a bank today. They went home. Then the next day, they needed to get some money out of the bank. The bank closed the day before. And guess what else? They went to another branch, and the other branch, when they got there, the people said, "Your branch closed. We don't have your money." This is already happening, ladies and gentlemen. All right. FDIC is not coming to save your ass either. All right. Lots of love. FDIC can take up to 3 years to return the funds or do anything. Thank you once again, Curtis Davis, for explaining the situation. People are thinking that they're going to be saved because they have money with the bank and the FDIC. It's a bank holiday, ladies and gentlemen, indefinitely. And never mind all that, the federal government at any time can just call it a bank holiday and call out the middlemen, call them off, and they're all out of it. And they'll just say, blame it on the government. They're the ones that told us to close down. Vanessa, Curtis Davis, I didn't realize it could take that long. Crazy. Exactly, Vanessa Comagate. And this is why, once again, we don't talk about leaving your money in banks. We've talked about this before. Why would you leave your money in a bank in the first place? First of all, you can't withdraw it, and they're not giving you any interest for using your money. So you might as well just have it sitting next to you, or you're going to take risks like millions of other people did in crypto to earn a little bit of extra streams of revenue. Or you're going to buy gold and silver, or you're going to go buy real estate, or you're going to go buy art or some comic books or baseball cards. I don't know, but you're going to buy something that generally increases in value over time. So here we are. Yeah, one party blames the other, but both admin party created 2022 mess. You said it. Tariffs, isolation comes back to bite. Exactly. And this stems from 2008. So bottom line, actually, let me get things proper in perspective. Because Gino Chimiente came in here and talked about the dot-com bubble. So let's get things in perspective, shall we? All right. 1988 to, okay, I'll even go further back. 1980, trickle-down effect, tax cut, tax breaks. We all know by now, right? You guys know that's bad for you. That means there people at the top get a whole bunch of money from the government, and then they're supposed to magically, I guess, employ people, buy up businesses and employ more people and give out loans. I don't know what they're supposed to do, but all I know is they buy yachts, airplanes, and all that, and $1 million homes. That's all I know. And then they go out here and buy up their own shares of stock and increase the value of their companies. They're not helping out nobody else. So, but anyhow, so that was the staple of the trickle-down theory in the 80s. Then, after two of those little scenarios over the course of 8 years, then for some strange reason, 88 to 92, once again, somebody goes, oh, we got to have a little trickle-down help again. We got to give a tax cut, tax breaks again. Except this time, guess what happened? Savings and loans went bankrupt because they were doing risky loans because they had the same tired and old thing about reducing interest rates and giving out loans haphazardly. And then they went out of business in the late 80s. Savings and loans disaster. Banks gone, savings and loan credit bureaus effed up. So now we have new regime, 92 to 2000. The new regime comes in and they continue. Let's reduce the interest rates. Whenever you reduce interest rates, you're going to have a spur of investing. You're going to have new companies being built. All of this comes into play. And what happened? The new darlings of Wall Street showed up. These dot-com bubbles. Yahoo, #1, right? Google's just a dream in somebody's eye. Apple coming out. Microsoft. All this computerized stuff is big time. Software, RAM, disk, all this stuff is running rampant. People are buying them left, right. So what happens? Their stocks go up. All the dot-com related. We're talking about it didn't matter if you made the machine, if you had chips, if you had RAM, no matter the screens, it didn't matter. Anything related, you went IPO, you were like Yahoo, number one on the charts. And then all of a sudden, one day, people weren't buying that much stuff no more. The value of your company was overrated. Same thing as what happened now. And guess what? .com bubble burst. Boom, crash. Some people got bailed out. Some people didn't. So 1995, 96, Apple was going out of business. The banks didn't believe in Apple. They weren't giving them no more money. So you guys know the story or may not know the story. Microsoft and Bill Gates, they gave Apple a loan. Microsoft had a choice to buy Apple, merge, just like Nexo is saying with Celsius, hey man, why don't we merge? Bill Gates said, we're not going to merge. I need Apple because I need a competitor. So he gave Apple a loan. That's the only reason Apple's even around. I'm just getting excited. That's why Apple drives me crazy. But anyhow, that's why they exist to this day. And then there was a .com bust, 1999, 2000, 2001. Next regime comes in 2000. They go, I know, tax cut, tax break. And guess where that money goes, ladies and gentlemen? To the top 10 percenters and their company. So now we march once again, reduce the interest rates, and we march with the stock market going up. It's beautiful. Everything's lovely, except in 2006, home prices are going up every week. The price goes up $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. So what happens? All of a sudden, the lenders start going, man, everybody wants to buy a house now. How can we cash in on this? And they said, well, you can breathe. You got a credit score. You get a loan. You get a house. So everybody damn near qualified for a house. And then, of course, you guys know what happened. Wall Street said, man, we got 7 million, 8 million people that bought a house in the last 2 years. Why don't we package up these derivatives, these loan papers, and go to Europe and tell the Europeans this is AAA rated paper, even though people are not making payments on a lot of it. But we're going to go over there and tell them it's worth billions of dollars, and they're going to give us $1 billion. And they're going to give us their pension money over there in the UK. They're going to give us the pension money over there in Germany. Yeah. And so when there was an implosion in 2008 and 2009, the paper was overseas already. Wall Street got their money, and then they went and leveraged it, collateralized it, and made no more derivatives. So then there was an implosion. So Gino Chimiente, let me know how I'm doing so far. All right. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. And then Ben Bernanke and his cohorts in Wall Street, Goldman Sachs, they have a meeting and they said to the president, you know, man, it's going to be very, very bad. If this crashes down, we're going to lose control. And they said, give us some money. So they bailed out all these corporations, ladies and gentlemen, with your hard-earned tax money. There's another thing that happened. They used your tax money to bail them out, just like I mentioned. They didn't fix anything. Nothing whatsoever. Lehman Brothers was the sacrificial lamb. They arrested one person. That's it. All this fake accounts, all this collateralized stuff, all these derivatives, all this leverage that they used illegally, nobody got arrested. All those 401ks and pension funds that were lost and stolen, nobody arrested. So they said, okay, we reset everything. We gave all the money, your tax money. We gave up, printed up some money, gave up billions of dollars, trillions. And so now we're back off to the races, but they didn't fix anything, ladies and gentlemen. All they did was they just made sure that they would buy up the corporations and companies' debt, which is what the Federal Reserve has been doing for the last 12, 13 years. Anytime that they needed to do anything, all they would do is just print up more money. They just kept the interest rates at a reasonable level, 3%, 2%, just in that range. And then they would drop it down a little bit if they wanted to spur the economy, which that's what they were doing for 12 years until they went down to damn near zero. Once you go down to zero, there ain't nothing else you can do at that point. But they increased the bubble because, again, we have a new regime that came in and gave another $1 trillion, $2 trillion, $3 trillion tax cut, tax break, and they promptly proceeded to go buy up their shares of stock, and the stock prices went even further higher, and they were able to buy up companies, corporations, buy up neighborhoods of houses, do all this stuff to increase housing assets that they can use as derivatives. And now the Federal Reserve and Janet Yellen and all these clowns, they're acting like they know what to do. They can't do a damn thing, ladies and gentlemen, except they already screwed up everything. 40 years in the making. They could have done something about it, but now it's too late. They never cared. So here we are. So we're going to take advantage, ladies and gentlemen. Gino Chimiente, we're taking advantage. All right? That's what we're going to be doing. You're going to short the stock market right now. You're going to have the duffel bag of cash ready. When these home prices go 50%, 60% off, that's what you're going to do. The other part is we have Victor Marrero here tonight as well. Loans, refi or HELOC. HELOC your way right now. Lock it in, use it, look for a income producing property where you're going to get money back. Because when this stuff hits the fan, you're going to need something that brings you in passive income. Start a YouTube channel, do anything. I don't care. You're going to need something. Sign up with SSN Lifestyle. All right. You're going to need some extra streams of revenue in here. All right. This is happening in China. Some banks have been closed for 2 weeks. Exactly, Vanessa Kamagate. And China did something totally wacky. They reduced the federal fund rate during an inflationary situation. This is incredible what China's doing. They don't care. They do not care. Lots of love reading. Some banks cover up to $250K for retirement accounts. That's it. So what if I have $1 million? Out of luck. There you go, Curtis Davis. These little fine prints are going to come into play, and that's how they're going to be siphoning off bail-ins. That's how they're going to be siphoning off some people's money. That's another thing. So thank you for mentioning that. The retirement funds, you're not safe with that either, ladies and gentlemen. Vanessa. Okay, I see you watching the big picture. China, exactly. You have to watch. Dubs up 75, 74 going into the fourth. Uh-oh. This is going down to the wire. I thought the Dubs would take off after that first half performance, but I guess there was an adjustments done by the Celtics. Unbelievably, they didn't take off. They're playing at home. This is going down to the wire. Could the Dubs lose 2 games at home in the same series after not even losing one? That's incredible. Curtis Davis, Uber and Lyft, having been losing money for 5 years. Exactly. But we're told had a 10 billion TAM, total addressable market. Here we go. Exactly. There goes my point exactly. How are these companies staying in business? Not even making any money for years. Yet they're on the stock market, getting free money. I mean, come on. I get upset. That's why we have to take advantage, ladies and gentlemen. Millionaires are going to be made. You're going to have to make sure you are a member of the channel because there's only a few places you can have solutions. A lot of people out here right now are talking about simple stuff. Oh, buy yourself an index fund and dollar cost your average down. It'll come back. Well, see, they don't understand what happened in 1929 to 1937. That's a long time for comeback. All right. In this day and age, due to inflationary situation, you can't be down money plus pay 20% in inflation cost. You're not going to be able to sustain that. And where are you going to get 20% increase in income or revenue? Where are you going to get this at if you don't have a business or a corporation or some way to get extra streams in the house? This is insanity. So you just can't play safe like this is 2008, 2001, 2005, 1985. No, you don't get a recovery in like 2 years or 1 year or 6 months. You don't know what's going to happen. You can play safe if you want to. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but I'm just saying In order to stay ahead of it, sometimes you're going to have to do unconventional things. Like when I was talking about the HELOC right now, home prices are going to come back down. So before the interest rate goes up, why don't you tap into some of that and you get enough? I'm talking about in most places, a couple $100,000, because you don't have to pay back any of the interest unless you extract out some of the money. But I will say this, I would advise extracting out the money and pay the little $300 a month. But you're going to have 200 G's. So while you're sitting there and you might have to pay $3,600 a year, so what? You put that money in a safe. That's what you do. And you sit back and relax for 1 year. You got that money. When things hit the fan, you can go out here and buy yourself up some businesses, some property. You can do something where you have revenue coming in. That's what you can do. That's a playbook that you can do. But a lot of people don't feel comfortable doing that because they're not thinking this is going to get worse. Here's the thing. If it doesn't get worse, you still have the bulk of the money sitting there. You can always walk back in the bank and say, here's the money. Unless the 6,000 or 4,000 or 5,000, and that's what you'll pay off. But either way, what's the real risk? You're just leveraging what you have right now. It's not your money anyhow, but you can still use the money and buy up some asset that has a return on investment without having to work for it yourself or take any of your money. So that's all I'm saying. So that's a playbook. That's how you can save yourself. Lots of love, AAA paper. Buffett saw through that mess too. Exactly, Curtis Davis. That's why he didn't get jacked. Stop. One person arrested. Exactly. Mr. Ice, Mr. Colfax. The U.S. citizen is screwed in their children. That's it exactly, unfortunately. This right here wipes out the middle classes about what happens. Like I said before, ladies and gentlemen, a person had $1 million in their account. After today, some people, that $1 million is less than $700,000 in their retirement fund. Because an additional 3%, 2 or 3% on each of these markets gives you an average of damn near 20%. So you're below 800. Some people are going to be below 700. Because where else would you put your money? So they have you. You're not going to take out your $1 million, 1, 3, 1, 5, 2 million and go, okay, I'm just going to go over here and act stupid, because you're going to be 65, 70 years old. You're not going to act stupid. You're going to keep that there thinking everything's rocking and roll. Well, everything has been rocking and rolling for 12, 13 years. So why would you think that the party's going to stop? You've seen your portfolio increase from 500,000 to damn near 2 million. You're going to sit there and be like, all right, this is great. I'll just hold on a little longer. So what? It just dropped another down 600 G's. It's all right. It'll recover. And the next thing you know, it's down $1 million. And now you're going to sit there and start panicking, because then you're going to realize, wait a minute, I'm going to live maybe another 20 years and these prices are all screwed up right now. What am I going to do? I'm too old and I haven't learned about TikToks and Facebooks and Instagrams, how I can make revenue. I don't know about how to do a podcast. All right, so there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to wrap this up after I'm going off on these tangents about this, but you guys have to understand, this is dire. This is no joke. All right? No joke out here. Lots of love. That's right. And I redid this. I see you watching the big picture with China. Dubs. This is going to be a close game. Uber and Lyft having been losing money for 5 years. Yep. Buffett didn't want none of that AAA paper. One person arrested. Exactly. Good evening, Mr. Bird is from Wilson Koo. Welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. Thank you so much for being here with the icon next to your name. And he says, good evening, Mr. Bird and SSN family. 100% facts. I sell money. Mr. Koo does loans. And ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Koo, I'm glad you're here. What's happening in the lending business right now? Because you know they're going to raise the interest rate, the federal funds rate, that is. So that means the lending rate's going to go up, and the mortgages for mortgage rate, everything's going higher, and it could be going higher 1 full point, by the way. So again, if you haven't bought your house and you're thinking about getting a house and you have a great credit score and you can get a 4.8 or whatever, you better get it right now, because this is going to be your last chance. Because after this, you're going to be looking at 5.6 or 6.0 percentage points. And Wilson Koo does loans, ladies and gentlemen. QuickEasyFunds.com. That's QuickEasyFunds.com. That's E as in Eric, Z as in Zebra, funds.com. QuickEasyFunds.com. All right, been busy working and just getting on. Exactly. Lots of love. Do you think the company like Exxon will drop prices after 2020? No. Stand still nor cut during prime season when people travel the most? No way. The CEOs of gas and oil are laughing at Americans. Exactly, Curtis Davis. That's exactly what's happening. Here it is, June, travel season. They don't care about the stock market going down. They're still getting paid. People are still going to travel. They're still top 10 percenters. There's still people with disposable income. What's up, family? All right, evening. Wilson Koo, Victor M, Curtis D, Auntie V, Vanessa K, Gino, James Way. Thank you for the love. We just had rates go up to 0.75. There we go. There we are. So we're in the fives for the best credit. 740, soon to be 760. Yeah, this is no surprise. They're anticipating a 0.75. It would be nice to see it, but I just don't have faith in Powell and them guys. I think they're going to go 0.5, but nonetheless, we'll find out shortly. Cool, man. All right, let's see, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have to wrap this up. 2 hours, 21 minutes. And I haven't even ran any type of little promo today. Let's run something. Let's see what we can do. Okay. Whoa, I got a lot of videos. So stay tuned. Please join us on Wednesday night live stream at 8:50 p.m. But that's SSN Nation Wednesday night live stream where members only with the icon can be in the chat room. Everybody else can watch, but only members with the icon. That means you join the channel as a member, not a subscriber. You can be in the live stream. All right. Let's go with an older one. How about that? Let's go with an older one. This one right here.
Come on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap this up. If you got anything else to discuss right now, let me know. And by the way, Auntie Val, let me know where you saw that liquidation for Michael Saylor so I can pull it up. I want to see it. I can't believe it that it happened. He didn't get out of it. I'm pretty sure he was thinking, nah, they're not going to liquidate me. But that is pretty cool. Gas prices are $2.15 or over $6 a gallon. $2.15. Oh, $2.15 a liter. Yeah. As rates go higher, the people who need a loan are least eligible. No financial education for baby boomers. Exactly. That's exactly what's going to happen. What's good, Koo, man? Good evening, Wilson. What about VA loan rates? Where are they now? 4.8, 4.5. I believe we're going to find out. Mr. Estacio's in Boston, June 23rd through 26th at Courtyard Marriott, Cambridge. Yes, he is. There you go. Man's on a traveling tour, big time. Wilson Koo, how about a secured loan? What's the rate for that? Those loans are sometimes called pledge loans. True. If you want to see him, you have to book an appointment. Yep, he's going to be busy selling to the high rollers. Victor M secured loans went up too. Yeah, they did. In fact, they're matching the, I think they're like 4. They're still in the 4s. Well, they're not going to be in the 4s after next week, though. Auntie Val, crypto Twitter report. looking for source myself. Yep. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't find it. 5.8. God, dog. VA rates. Yikes. That's up there. I thought it was still in the 4.8. When did it go to 5? Good God almighty. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, financial literacy alert. Here's what happens. 5.8 represents $580 per $100,000 that you borrow. So if an average home in America is $400,000, then that means you're going to be paying 4 times 580 as your mortgage, and then some, potentially. So that's almost 6. So you're going to be paying around $2,300 a month for a mortgage on a $400,000 part. Now, here's the problem. When they raise the interest rate 0.5 or 0.75, you guys, we could be at 6.3 or 6.1 or 6.5. So now you'd be at, and you guys know home prices. You know what? Why don't we do it this way? Let me go do it this way. Here's what, I don't actually know the number to this. So this is why I'm going to do it this way. All right. I don't know the number to this. So we're going to go look. All right. I wanted to find out what the average price of homes is. Oh, it is. The median price of homes sold in 2022 are $428,000, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So if that is the case, there you go. 428. So when you're at 6%, you can start doing the math. 4 times 6 is 2,400. 24, your debt to income ratio can generally be in the 30 percentile range. So that means you're going to have to do, if that's 2,400, that means you have to make 24 times 3. That's going to be 72. That's 72. And then you can't have any cars, any credit, any nothing. So you're going to have to make more than that. Your household's going to have to be damn near to 100,000. Oh, by the way, you have tax. So basically, you're going to have to be like 120. W-2 wise, 120. All right. Wilson Koo might be able to figure out the number itself. But all I'm saying is you're going to have to be over 100 potentially, especially if you have a car or any other things of note. So that's the bad news, ladies and gentlemen. Anything that can go up will be up. It is still going to go up in July. Exactly. 5.8. Yeah, that's what I said, Victor Morrell. 5.8 VA rates. What? That's a wrap for the average veteran. Exactly, Victor Morrell. Because you're not going to find a house for $200,000. That would still be $1,300 a month mortgage, and $300,000 makes it 2 G's. So again, that's not a good story right there, ladies and gentlemen. So once again, there you go. Get the cold, hard facts here. That's how we like to do it. So you get to understand this is what's happening. That the VA is charging 5.8. The open market's going to be that. This is crazy. This, after they raise the rate this time, I fear that we're going to be in the 6s. I mean, I already know it's 4.8, 5.5, whatever, but we're going to be in the 6s here shortly. For every 100,000 is going to be $600 a month. And home prices are off the charts. 428 is a median price. That's not average. They just take all the prices of at a set point, all the prices higher, and then they take the bottom section of the number of houses, and then they put, that's the median price. The average price could be 10 or 15,000 higher or lower in either direction. But that's not the average price. That's just the median price of all the houses. And then they split it down the middle. That's how they get the median. They didn't go by the average price of all the houses. They didn't do that and split it by 2. They just got all the homes sold and went down 50%. And that comes out to 428. Okay. So there you go. We're going to wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. And make sure you share the videos. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the all notification bell. And tonight, if you like what we're talking about, please smash that like button. It doesn't cost anything. 5.8 V8 rates. Yep, that's a wrap. National average is 5.2 for VA. Sorry. Yeah. There's no low rates anymore. We have a 0% rate for 6 months and then up to 8 to 9%. Or if credit is below, oh God, it's already at 10 or 11 for under 680. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, remember when the credit bureaus about a year ago came out with the FICO 10? Remember that? Now you're seeing when you drag somebody's credit from in the 7s to 680 or under, 10 or 11% exist right now. I didn't know they were over 10 already. That is incredible. Ladies and gentlemen, now you understand why I was saying in a brief, not yesterday video, why you shouldn't buy a house right now, right? That's why I was saying it, because if we're talking 8%, that's $800 for every 1,000. Can you imagine a $300,000 house or a $400,000 house as a $3,200 a month note, which means you need to make, Jesus, you got to make like 150. All right. Something in that neighborhood. A household has to make that. You're going to be some 125 to 150, depending on other credit situation, but that's where you're going to be. And that's not going to be good. Not that many people's going to qualify. And you're going to need a 760 credit score, 740 right now. So there you go. It's up there, ladies and gentlemen. You're getting it right here. This is how bad it's going to get. Oh, and by the way, your credit cards and any other adjustable rate mortgages, they're going to go up. When the time comes, they're going up. Their maximum, whatever their maximum is, it's going up. And if you have credit cards, they're going to send you a note and say, hey, you know what? We're going to increase this 2%, 1%, whatever, because the federal funds rate went up. So we're going to increase this 1% or 0.5%, your interest rate. So all this is going down, ladies and gentlemen. All this is going to affect you. There's no way around it. The interest for businesses, that could go up. The lines of credit, all that can go up. So therefore, they have to charge you more. It's not going to be based on inflation. It's going to be based on cost of living increase. And there's nothing they can do about it. If I get added on an extra 2%, I have to pass that extra 2% on to my customer because I have to maintain my margins. Right? Okay. Just so you know, ouch. Yes, it's here. You got that right. We'll catch replay. Hit that like button. Thank you so much for mentioning that. And once again, we're going to wrap this up here shortly. Wilson, got you. That smells like a variable rate loan. I'll never touch those. And then 9%. Damn. Exactly, Victor Marrero. This is going to be one for the ages back to the late 1970s, 75 to 80. That's where we're talking right now, 81, 82, until they had to all of a sudden drop all this stuff, tax cut, tax rate, reduced to federal funds rate. That's where we're at. It's like a playbook being replayed again and again. FICO 10 going to hurt you if you have crap on your report. Exactly right, Wilson Koo. That's how it works. And 9%, I'm like, oh, man, this is bad. This is where we're going to be next year, ladies and gentlemen. This is where we're going to be next year. This is going to be very bad. I'll put it to you this way. I've mentioned all the bad, but actually it's not going to be all that bad. Don't worry about it, all right? So here's what we're going to do next year, just so you get the silver lining. So some of us are going to have to get into some sort of loan maybe, and it could be 10%, let's say, because next year 10% might be a 760 credit score required, right? So here's the good news and the bad news. The good news is if you got something for only 100,000 or 200,000, you're going to be all right because you won't be bad $2,000 a month because, you know, that's the worst case scenario. But the point I'm trying to make is this. So imagine that home prices go up that high because the interest rates were increased by the Fed again another 3 months from now and another 3 months after that. And so now what's going to end up happening, in order to spur the economy, they're going to reduce the interest rate. So over time, they'll start doing their little 5% here or 5 basis points, 50 basis points, 100 basis points. so they can get it back down to single digits. So it'll be into the 5%, 4% range for mortgages. So that'll spur things. And that's when you get to pounce on the refi at that point, and you will have equity into your property that will be off the charts. So don't worry, there's always another side of the coin that you're going to be able to take advantage of. So either side of the coin, stay calm. You're going to have to ride through this wave, but the playbook is still the same from the federal government. They're still going to reduce the Federal Reserve 2 years, 1 year from now, will start reducing rates to spur the economy. And you know what happens when they do that. The big boys borrow, and then they loan, and then they start spending the money, whether it's on stocks, whether it's on real estate, so prices will go up. They'll be back to normal. And you should be winning at that point. All right? Just keep that in mind. Okay. So let's wrap this up. People aren't making loans at banks and have to go to alternative lenders. Yep, that's what's going to happen. It's going to be that hard money paper when you get 10, 11, 12, 13, 14%. But remember, that's also going to spawn another industry where you're going to be able to do things from an investing standpoint, where you might be able to get somebody to give you that interest only right now. It might, but they might change it. Instead of 12 months or 18 months, they might go 6 months. So again, you'll still have opportunities, but they're not going to be the same opportunities that have been presented up until this point. Things are about to be shut down after this next basis points increase. I'm thinking they're going to do a 50. If they do a 75, I'm going to be shocked. And if they did a 100% basis point, I'd really be like totally shocked. If they did that, that would take guts. And that also means you put a fork in it. You put a fork in the stock market, you would put a fork in the real estate market, but at least you pulled the scab off and you said, okay, we're just going to have to just deal with this for the next year. That's simple. But this little dilly-dallying about that they're doing, that just means more inflation is going to be running rampant. It would be awesome if you saw 1 point, though. I will give them that. 0.75 would be pretty much aggressive as well. I would love to see, but get this stuff over with. Let's just get this thing up 2 percentage points, 200 basis points, shall we? Let's just get it out the way and call it a day. Shut this thing down. Don't bail out any companies. Let them fall by the wayside. If they weren't running their company efficiently, this is supposedly a capitalist society. Let them fall. No bailouts. American people, taxpayers aren't paying bailout money. Let it run like a capitalist system. That's the only way this is going to survive. If they keep doing this socialist system where they're going to bail these guys out instead of them filing bankruptcy or just going out of business altogether, then we haven't done a damn thing. We're just going to be right back at it, which means we're going to win anyhow, because we're going to be out here getting some of this property, right? We're going to be out here trying to do something while prices are low, right? Because the bounce back is going to be one hell of a bounce back. Okay, just keep that in mind. Hard money is going 12 to 16 if credit is good. Gee, didn't add broker fee. You're getting hit back. Eeks. Ooh, them points, man. Them points. I saw some companies asking for 4 points right now. $4,600 to process a loan. It wasn't even nothing crazy. It was 300 or 400 G's. I was just like, this is insane. This is insane. This was crazy. Actually, 1 point or something, but not 4 points, but 1 point. I was just like, this is insane. What's this $4,650 fee? I was looking at some rates when I ran the video yesterday for the housing. I couldn't believe it. Out of control. Wilson Coup, facts. Before midterms, no way. Ha ha ha, Auntie Val. It's not based on them. They don't have a choice. See, that's what I'm trying to say. They have no choice. They literally have zero choice on this inflationary. They don't have a playbook. It's not like they create jobs. It's not like all of a sudden out of the blue, they can just say, hey, we're going to reduce gas prices. We're going to reduce the cost of living. They don't have that power. All they can do is increase or decrease interest rates and give loans. That's it. Neither of those stops prices from going up. All that does is stop the markets from being able to borrow And it goes back to a system where if you don't have the cash, then you can't make the purchase. That's all that happens. It reduces how much borrowing you can do. So that doesn't flood the market. So that's why the economy shrinks. So that's all they're doing. That's all they can do. They have no choice. Inflation is not 8.6%. Try 17%. Try 25%. They just don't want to tell people the truth. So therefore, you have to do something. If you leave, let's say they woke up this week and said, you know what, we're not going to raise the interest rate at all. Now, that might make Wall Street happy, but everybody else is screwed. So, and I don't think if they do that, then it's going to make things worse. So the 25%, we're going to be damn near 30, 35% in the next year. So by the time the midterms come, in a few short months, 6 months, if you think things are bad now, you will be seeing $10 gas almost damn near every state. You will be seeing your grocery bill rising another 50% for the same foods you have right now. There's no way around it. They're locked. And they got buffoons running the asylum. And yeah, everybody goes, yeah, these guys are too old. They shouldn't even be in the business of doing it, lying to the public. And let's call it what it is. It's bad. It's bad. It's going down. I have people asking $10K to do the loan. See, this is what I'm talking about. You guys, Wilson Koo he's telling you exactly what we already knew. Remember when I told you when the interest rates get out of hand, I told you you're going to be seeing some wild stuff. This is going to be 1975 to 1980s. And if you don't know what I mean, at that particular time, 12%, 14%, 15% home loans was the norm. That's where we're at right now. Our inflation rate is higher than 1980s inflation rate of 14.5 or 14.4%. It doesn't look higher on the CPI index because you guys know I went over it. 1980s when they changed the COGI to CPI and they reduced it, literally. And then they've been lying ever since. So once you realize the number is already at that number in reality and beyond, then you understand if it was 14%, then why isn't it 14% now? Because it's always been fake. And now they can't do anything about it because it's over 14%. So hopefully I've illustrated and talked about this enough where you guys understand we're in a dire situation. And therefore you have to get into some vehicle where you're going to be able to say, hey, what happens if I don't make any money? Where's some money going to come from? You're going to have to do that, whether it's podcasts, whether it's YouTube channels, whether it's you're going out here starting a business, whether it's going out here, signing up with SSN Lifestyle, where you're able to refer people to some products and services there. And then you can receive commission, or you can do what you're doing with your Webull and Robinhood accounts and share it with people and try to get some more free shares of stock while stocks are low, and some free Bitcoin and things like that from Robinhood and Webull and whoever you can get that from, and send people to Coinbase. Like we have the free $10 of Bitcoin down below in the description. So you go send people there. You receive some money for that. Crypto.com, by the way, get your .crypto domain, get your .x or .coin or .bitcoin. So then that way you don't have to worry about an exchange. You could just tell people to send it to your name.crypto, your business.crypto. So then you control it a little bit because it's going to be in a wallet somewhere, but you control it. And you don't have to put it in an exchange. You don't have to tell people to send you money to an exchange. Because as you can see right now, Celsius is about to get messed up. Apparently. They could be getting messed up because you can imagine the market dropped while we were talking. When it went to 20, that means ETH dropped too. And they have that staked ETH at a peg. It's dropped a little bit. They're in jeopardy of a problem because they also have used collateral of our money in Celsius as collateral. So I'm pretty sure they had to actually get money from somewhere to pay some of that collateralized margin call situation that they're going to have, because there's no way they predicted that the price would drop 30%, 40%, 50%. Remember, Celsius came out only like a year ago. All right. Cannabis market is on slump, but not in Cali. Wilson Koo, yes, all markets are going to be in the slump, but I agree. Dubs with 104. Oh, they took off Auntie Val. They made it happen. Finally. I was getting worried because I thought they would take off in the third quarter and win by double digits. Oh, but I was right. Oh, I wish I could run the replay. I was right on one aspect that I figured they would win by more than 12. And it looks like they're going to win by more than 12. But I thought they would take off in the third quarter and have that 10, 12 point lead at that point, maybe 15. But they end up, it looks like they're going to end up by 15 or whatever. So Dubs win. Dubs in 6. We talked about it. I should keep these clips when we make predictions. Dubs in 6 possibly. Going back to Boston in 2 days, I think. Thank you for that update, Professor. Home prices in some areas have dropped 30%. But wait, Wilson Koo, are you talking about in Canada or in the USA? I wouldn't doubt Canada has a bigger bubble than the USA with less people, which is weird. USA, I'm not surprised because Redfin asked their sellers to reduce their home prices last month. So it's been about 3 weeks. Foreclosures have started going up. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. If interest rates are what Wilson Koo's talking about, most people are going to have a 7-8% interest rate. They can't buy a $600,000 house. Come on now, ladies and gentlemen. They can't buy even a 500. Well, they can, but they're going to have to, household income wise, going to have to do 150, 160, 170 potentially. So you thin out the herd, don't have the demand, prices have to come down, and that's why you shouldn't be buying a home. I made the video yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. I gave you the reasons, and already we're there. I didn't realize we were at 8 or 9% already. Or for worse, a lower score, 10%. I didn't realize we were at 10%. We're already there, ladies and gentlemen. That means home prices are going to go down. Hey, and by the way, remember that other prediction I made at the end in January or February? It was one of those months where I said in 6 months, there's going to be a housing situation. Well, here we are. 6 months from January means July. 6 months from February means August. Anywhere in that ballpark, it's about to go down. In fact, it's going down already then. Here's the point I'm trying to make. When he says 30% price drop, have dropped 30%, the reason why is, imagine this. If the average home price is $400,000, and if you have to get a loan, that's 8 times 4 is $3,200. All right? 3,200 means you have to make 10 G's, which means you have to make 120 minimum. With no loans, no card, no banks, no credit cards, no nothing. Most people will not have that. So that means you're going to have to be making like 140, 150 for the person or two people that's signing in there together to buy the home. That also means the housing price has to come down. So 30% means you go from 400, guess what, to 300 or 280. 280, and I'll go to 300. 300 times 8 is 2,400. That's a lot more manageable. But you still have to make $10,000 per month. So again, but now you see why home prices have to drop, because you can't afford it. That's how it works. And we're already there, come to find out. But let me know if you're talking about USA or Canada. Oh, it looks like he's talking about Canada. But it doesn't matter. If it's happening in Canada, it's going to happen in the USA. 104.94. That's a what is that? No, that's only a 198 final. So I lost on the over. Interesting. 104 to 94, 10-point win. The G Dubs, the Bay Area celebrating. Hopefully they're not reading their paper clippings talking about G Dubs in 6 in Canada, sir. It's okay. Talking to the real estate agent tomorrow to sell small lot and house in Tuskegee, not part of the 50 acres. Wow. How cool is that? Yes, Auntie Val. Yeah. 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 I'm glad you're selling it now. It's imperative. Anybody thinking about selling their house, do it now, please. Don't wait around. Just do it now. Call up now. Do it now. You're not going to have another opportunity here to get the maximum price because interest rates are going to go up in the next 5 days if they haven't already. As soon as somebody gets that little envelope from the Fed early and gives them that whisper in the ear and says, hey, we're going to raise it up 50% or 75 basis points or 50 basis points. As soon as they get that, then they're going to raise it up. So everything we're talking about tonight is probably what the numbers are going to be in America, if they're not already, at the end of this week or even higher. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Now you understand why I said do that HELOC, because if you lose 30% of the value of your home, that HELOC's gone. You see what I'm saying? And you want to take it out of the account and say how much is the HELOC, and if they say it's 5%, okay, you go okay, that 200 or 300,000 or 100, whatever, you go okay for it. That's $500 a month, $600 a month, but I have the money, so you take it out of that, and you can stave off 2 years and wait around for these prices to drop to 50%. And again, how do you save yourself? I'm going to say this again. I said it on Friday night, but this is Money Making Mondays. This is going to be a wealth transfer. It's 2 hours, 51 minutes in. It's a wealth transfer, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to have an opportunity. Again, I'll say this very clearly again. The best neighborhood that you want to live in, you need to go canvass it right now. You need to understand how much the prices are and what they're selling for right now. Because you're not going to have any excuse if you go to a neighborhood right now, and I'll use numbers that are crazy because usually a high-end neighborhood right now is probably 700,000, 800, a mil, 1.5. You go to the better neighborhood that you want to live in, and you see the price now. When you see the price drop to 50% or 60%, and you say, man, I always wanted to live there, well, that will be your chance. You're going to have that chance, ladies and gentlemen. All right? And there's another little secret behind this. When an economy recovers, the more upscale the home is or the area is, the higher the prices go up quicker than on the lower end. So just keep that in mind. All right? I want to give you guys I'll give you this. So you guys know, if you look at my first videos, you'll know where I used to live. That house, 520,000. Bad times, 2008, something like that. Right now, I don't own it though, but right now, 1.3, 1.2, 1.4, somewhere in that neighborhood. But in sometime in the next 6 months to a year, it will drop back down to 600, 500 potentially. So somebody will have an opportunity to get back in, get there, and do the same thing again. Just letting you know. All right. That's the dirty little secrets. All right. Auntie V, what is on that lot house-wise? Exactly. She said a house. Congrats, Auntie V. Good luck. Exactly. Exactly. I'm glad to hear you're selling. That's right. Get your duffel bag of cash now. Exactly, Vanessa Cummingate. Working on it, sis. Exactly. Auntie V, that's great. Good luck on that. Exactly. Do you have a sale price for that? Out of curiosity? And is it a house that's functional? I mean, is it a house that's been sitting a long time, or did somebody live there? Does it need rehab? What's the status? And how much are we talking about? A regular? Well, it's Tuskegee. So we're going to be talking about it. Probably has some acreage on it, right? Because there's plenty of land around there. Vanessa, that's right. Fill up the duffel bag now. Exactly. Exactly. Get it while you can, because prices are going to start dropping immediately. Good game at Auntie Val. Exactly. What a hell of a ride that is. That's pretty sweet. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap this up. If Auntie Val answers in the next few seconds, then we'll go there. But maybe we'll find out about the house. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think we talked about everything that we can do tonight. And we're still looking for that Twitter where Sailor got margin called. Let's see. That should be a big thing. Oh man. Oh man. This is what I'm saying. Here we go. I got to show you guys something. This is why he was out here shilling, ladies and gentlemen. Look at that. I'm almost reveling in the margin call, which I shouldn't be. But I'm just saying, because what I really didn't like is once you guys understand what Bitcoin really is, it's not what you really think it is. They changed the protocol. It's not the original Bitcoin protocol. They hijacked the name, created a company, not him though, but that's BTC. And then every time somebody wanted to talk about, hey guys, you changed the protocol. That's not even the way Bitcoin, the white paper really is. Why are you calling yourself BTC? They would shut people down and they'd be like against you. And that's basically, it's always been this facade. It's not actually Bitcoin, but they call themselves Bitcoin. It's messed up and it's really bad. And so, that's why he's out here shilling Bitcoin. And in order for Bitcoin to rise, you have to have demand. So when Michael Saylor and Cathie Woods and Elon Musk and others are talking about buy Bitcoin and they're spending hundreds of millions of dollars to do it, that's influencing the price of Bitcoin, making it rise. They could have picked any coin for that matter. They could have just said, like Elon was talking about Doggy Coin, right? He could have done that. Michael Saylor could have jumped on that with him and just bought up 100 million worth of that. The price would have rose as well. Any coin they would have picked, the price would have rose. But sooner or later, there has to be a utility for it. There is no utility for something that does 7 transactions per second. It doesn't work. I don't care if you have a Lightning network. That still doesn't change your chain. So that's why I always had this thing about BTC and the fees they charge. It's ridiculous. So once again, I'm not really reveling in it. It's just that I find it fascinating that somebody would take their investors' money from their company and use that money to invest in Bitcoin and then double down and borrow from what the Bitcoin they just bought. I found that fascinating. And he was on every week telling people to do stuff like this: mortgage your house, get a HELOC, mortgage your house, or get a refi loan, mortgage your house. Do anything to buy into Bitcoin. And now it's did the unthinkable, dropped 50, 60%. And it could go even lower. So the question is, are you going to mortgage your house to buy Bitcoin if it drops to, if it goes to Auntie Val numbers, 10,000 again? That would be incredible. That would be so incredible. That would be scary. So anyhow, I just wanted to talk about that. We are waiting for the fourplex in Florida. My daughter lives in Mobile. Eyes open. Right on. Yeah, if you have real estate right now and you're thinking about selling it, please. Mr. Cool was thinking about selling his property a couple months ago, and I don't know if he pulled the trigger, but again, I was saying the same thing back then. Sell it now, get rid of it fast as possible because prices are going to start dropping. Needs rehab, but builders showing interest in the block. Well, there we go. There we go. Yeah, either way, sell it now. If either sell it now or the other option, wait. And that I did forget something, didn't I did forget something. Here's what I'm going to show. Here's what I'm going to show you right here. Who's the enemy? Again, I'm just going to say, you guys don't know when I leave an open-ended question like that, who's the enemy? But who's the enemy? I'm going to show you this, though. Remember I was talking about the art of war? Sun Tzu. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. See that, ladies and gentlemen? That right there, art of war, Sun Tzu. So that's pretty scary. Supreme art of war, subdue the enemy without fighting. So all of this stuff that's happening, there is no fighting, is there? So who is the enemy? It's like the government is like, we're the enemy, the ordinary citizens, the OCs. So now you're going to have to start thinking things. This is why I wanted to bring this up. I meant to bring this up originally at the beginning, because this is the art of war, a guy that's never lost a battle, allegedly. All right, Sun Tzu. Before, in the BC era, ladies and gentlemen, in China, running roughshod. And this is part of his thought process. Subdue the enemy without fighting. And if you think you're not being subdued with higher interest rates, with the government printing money, with them doing all kind of things where there's a socialist environment for banks and corporations, and they give them subsidies and loans that you and I could never even think about or imagine. And then they turn around to us and say, you know, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, go out here and work 80 hours a week, 70 hours a week, get 2 jobs, you know, pay for this ungodly amount for childcare. If you have children, we're not going to bother you with that. We're not going to help you out. We're not going to help you with your educational. We're just going to charge because that's a loan to us. That's money to us. So that's another way they can monetize you. So now you're caught all the way around. Then they go out here and buy up apartment buildings. They go out here and buy up homes and neighborhoods. And then they raise the price of the homes. And you're thinking you're doing good. Except when they raise the price of homes, they raise all the prices. So it's not like you can move. So they have you. They subdue you without even fighting. And you don't even know nothing about it unless you're here in the SSN Nation. And we know the counters that we can do with this, right? You guys know the counters. So that's what we're talking about. So she was saying needs rehab, have people looking for land for farming. Yep. And she's got the land. She lives in Mobile, Alabama, not Mobile Park. Okay. Oh, Mobile, Alabama. I lived there when I was a kid. I've lived all over. I swear I couldn't understand what the people were saying. The words coming out of their mouth, they had this slang, this, I don't even know. It sounded like a foreign language. It was crazy. Yep, looking to acquire some for Alabama too. There we go. Vanessa Kama, cool, very cool. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's wrap this up. If there's anything you ever want to talk about, you know what you can do. Send me a message, support@stopstrugglingnow.com. If you want to have a subject matter you want to talk about, you can always put it in the chat room or send me a message at support@stopstrugglingnow.com. If you want to join me on the screen and have a discussion, you're free to, except one little thing. You have to have an icon like Vanessa Comagate has here, because they're the only ones that receive the link to be able to come into the back office to be on screen with me. And if you want to talk about something, you're allowed to do that. And Wednesday night at 8:50 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, please join us where it's members only with the icon that can be in the chat room. Everybody else, you'll be able to watch. And don't forget to go down to the description box. There might be something down there that can be very, very helpful for you. Streams of revenue, free stocks, free coins. Oh, you can earn free Bitcoin right now with your own mining, with your own software, meaning your own computer, your own laptop, your own hard drive that's just sitting around doing nothing. That's right. You can do that. The link is down below in the description. And actually, you want to mine Bitcoin at the lower price. And I guess I should give a little caveat. After it does drop to its all-time low, due to the fact that it's part of the ecosystem for corporations, believe you me, it will go back up just like it traditionally has. That's what's going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. So don't be scared. It's just that a whole bunch of altcoins are going to be out of business, just like always. They're going to disappear. But Bitcoin and the top 3 or 4 Litecoin seems to somehow going to stay around. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, I guess, and BNB has an SEC problem now. So we know what's going to happen with that. The price is going to reduce. They'll be in jeopardy in the American market, but not everywhere else. But nonetheless, their price will come down too. So we know what's going to happen. It's the same old tried and true playbook. Make sure the OCs, yes, you can win sometimes, but they don't want a whole bunch of OCs winning. They don't want you being crypto millionaires overnight. All right. They don't want you to be real estate millionaires overnight. Just keep that in mind. All right. Bye American Dream. Get your 401k now, please. I'm looking for work. ATM, welcome to the SSN Nation Money Making Monday live stream. And this is a novel idea, but it's not. This man just said something that's very important that we haven't even touched upon tonight. Bye American Dream. That ship has already sailed. You already have 70, 80-year-old people working at McDonald's. That ship's already sailed. But this thing right here that he mentioned, he's exactly right, in my opinion. Get your 401k now, please. He's exactly right. When we were talking about earlier about the banks taking your money, well, they're part of the financial institution too. 401ks that are sitting, you're not going to be able to extract that. They're going to do that redemption policy. So I did kind of mention the redemption earlier, but he's brought it up again. They're going to say, I'm sorry, we're freezing redemptions. You can't get this money out of here. Oh, and by the way, you're going to have to pay some prepaid tax on this. So, and you're going to have to take a fee out if you take it out early. It used to be high fees, but now they're not so high, but they may implement those because they know there's going to be a run. So I kind of agree with this. The 401k does need to be parked. You need to hold that. You need to take it out. I agree with this entirely. Do not trust any financial institutions at this point. And unfortunately, that includes places like PayPal, Stripe, Venmo, which is a part of PayPal. That means any banking mechanisms, do not trust them. All right, you guys, think about this. There's going to be some bail-ins, and we don't know who's going to do, which financial institutions or financial companies is going to do it, but it's going to happen. It's already happened. But thank you so much. I'm looking for work, ATM, because you made some very good point. Because I was actually talking about redemptions before, and most people may not have connected the dots. But thank you, because that's the 401k. That's what I'm talking about. You might want to consider it, because look at it this way. You've already lost. Most 401ks are based on the stock market. You've already lost 20 to 30% just this year from your 401k. Potentially, it could be worse because they're going to raise the interest rate. So this is just a stair step down. So not only could you drop 20, this could be 30% in a matter of the next 30 days. And it could be 40 or 50 as well. Who knows where the bottom is? But when BlackRock says, the largest hedge fund says, we are not buying the dip, which means they normally would have bought hundreds of millions of dollars worth of stocks to help the stock market be propped up. So keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. I can't stress this enough. All right, please join us again on Wednesday night at 8:50 p.m., Friday night, 9:10 p.m. Let us know. And if you have any questions or comments, make them down below as well. And I will be seeing you on the next live stream here in the SSN Nation. And with all that said, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.